What's up, everybody? It is your girl Kiwan, and I am back with Carlos King with the Carlos King interview with Toya. And I have some people in the house. I have, first of all, my cousin, your cousin, Courtney. Like, that's my
Hello,
girl.
cousin. How y'all doing?
And then I have two additional friends of mine. Oh my God, I love them. Mrs. Best and Watch Your Mouth Reviews. They are no stranger for me, but they are new to my channel. So yeah, go ahead. Tell the people hi.
Hey, everybody. Thank you for having me. This is awesome. I'm glad that you're doing more lives. Glad that you getting your foot up in this because this is well deserved. We waited for this because felt like you was limiting yourself, friend. So I'm glad that you opened up that horizon.
Okay.
I'm just happy you here. I'm happy to be here. I hope everybody likes, shares, and subscribes to Kiwan JTV. Courtney, do you have a channel?
Not really. I have a YouTube, but I'm never on it unless I'm doing my live with Kiwan. So
She said I'm never on it.
other than that, I'm out here making candles and taking care of the elderly. So yeah.
All right. We love it. Yes. Go ahead. Entrepreneurship. That's what I'm talking
Period.
Come on.
Gotta do something, Lord. Patience getting thick.
Lord Jesus. Okay, y'all. So we are going to go ahead and jump right into this what do they call it? this interview.
Yes. Interview. Yeah. You got this.
So yeah, let's just go ahead. All right. So how we gonna do it is kind of how we in order, like, I'll play it and we'll start with James, Amina, and then we'll end with Courtney. So we can kind of have a flow.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
I'm here with somebody because she's wearing a coat due to the fact that her back hurts because she's been carrying the season. Give it up for Toya Bush Harris.
Not carrying the season. Okay.
Wait, y'all, I'm sorry. I had to stop. Do y'all think she's carrying the season?
No. Not even in the slightest. I feel like she's trying to save her check.
We
I
30
would
seconds
agree.
in, and this lady is gonna be hard.
Anytime you got to question yourself what the interviewee is saying about you makes you wonder if you really is doing that. She's not doing that. That's very
No,
good.
she's not.
Okay. Ciao. All right. I'm sorry. I just had to stop there. Let's go on. Let's
She
move
called
on.
it chaos.
Yeah.
Of course, chaos and confusion. All right, y'all. The foolishness.
Can't do it alone. So
You and the girl.
shout out to my castmates. I love my friends, my castmates. Y'all are amazing. My producers, man, we have had some great producers over the years. To be honest with you, I'm just highly blessed. Really am. They taught me everything I know. I
Toya.
blame it on them.
Toya, no. And you, first of all, we're both from Detroit. You and I are friends in real life.
Yes.
In my life, when I have been championing for this show forever. And the moment I got my podcast, I used it to say, look, guys, you got to watch this show. How does it feel now to know that I feel like the show is finally getting the momentum it deserves?
Well, I'm going to say right off the back, I appreciate you because you could only be talking about your shows. Okay. But I appreciate that. You know what I'm saying? Because it goes a long way when someone can say and have the biggest heart for their people and say, you know what, this is just a good show. Whether I like y'all production team or whatever, I love y'all and y'all are good TV and we need it because really and truly, it's just us. We're a little pond. We're a little fish in a big pond. It's like, there's a ton of housewives, but, Married to Medicine is just us right now, hopefully.
No, listen, you ladies are the epitome of great television. Y'all clock in. This season is off the charts. Before we get into a lot of that, we have to start with the breaking news. That Quad and King did break up. It was announced first on Sunday where King said that, somebody said, ooh, King, you look good. Quad's a lucky woman. And he responded and said, her luck ran out. Her luck ran out. And then another woman said something and he said, I left the situation. Were you surprised when you learned that Quad and King broke up?
I was more surprised that, and I pray that Quad gives me the same grace that she's going to give Heavenly. Because, Heavenly came on your show and she said, that's my friend. And so Quad's my friend now too, And Quad said, or Heavenly said, should I say, Heavenly, so let's make it clear. Heavenly said that they've been broken up for months, right?
She did.
And I'm just curious how many months, because Quad is right, and so it's Heavenly. He has developed relationships to the point where, thank you, King, shout out to, giving my son one of the best birthday gifts ever. And I appreciate him. He's been there for my husband. They have celebrated Father's Day together. He was there at my husband's birthday. And he's become a good friend, and I don't want y'all to think that we go around befriending. No, Quad brought him to us, okay? And he's a nice guy. And I hate that this season is so hard for him because really and truly, and her, but, really and truly, I think the relationship was over during the season.
Cold towards her?
Or just distant. I'm not even gonna say cold. He's distant and he's not as loving as he was. And you can see it, you know what I'm saying? And I think that the viewers are going to start seeing a different scenario with him as they continue to watch the show. And then you'll ask yourself, were they together? Because that's what I started asking King myself.
Did you ask him yourself?
I did, but it's not my business to tell. I think that is something that,
Hi, Quad.
Yeah.
I'll call you.
Yeah, please do. Because
have you reached out to Quad since learning about the breakup?
Quad has actually been there for me. Recently, my father has been in the hospital. She called me. She prayed with me. Quad has been a friend to everybody this season. And so that's why it's so hard because it's like, God, I don't want to argue with my friends. I don't want to go back and forth, but it is sad because I feel I'm one of those people that, I fight for everyone. I do, even if you're my enemy, I'm still fighting for you if it's the right thing to do. And I just feel like it's just so unfair when you only hear one side of the story. Mm-hmm. That's all. That's what the media is for.
Well, you did mention.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't think that shout out to King was okay. Like it reminded me back of them being friends with Dr. G.
Mm-hmm.
But you're saying that I'm confused because you're saying that Quad is your friend, but later on you're gonna say something else. But we'll get there.
So for me, I'm just going to go ahead and say this. This is a lot of ass kissing that Carlos is doing. First off the bat, I don't think that Toya deserves all of this, to be honest with you. But okay, Carlos. I just feel like when it comes to the conversation about King and Quad, I feel like to me, to champion him and say that you're confused on the situation, we have to remember he started this off by making side comments on people's Instagram pages, bringing the smoke to the fire or lighter fluid to the fire to make it big. So you have to understand that when the reason why Quad is speaking out now is because he did it first. I think she was fine with keeping this part of her life private. And if they had broken up, she was fine to reveal it when it was the appropriate time to do so. I think King jumped the gun and made it hard for her to do so. So now she has no choice but to speak out. Another thing is I feel like with this whole her saying, well, we still have a relationship with King. He gave our son the most beautiful present he can give him. I'm thinking she probably saying, oh, well, King got him a car or something because King owns a car lot. So that's what I'm thinking she's talking about. And maybe she got discounts. So maybe she's keeping him as a friend for the benefit of what he can do. That's what it sounds like to me. And I just don't like it. I think that that's very crass of her to do. Because I don't think what Heavenly did was the same at all. I think what Heavenly is saying, okay, well, they've been broken up for months. Now they're just going public about it. And I'm on Team Quad. I feel like King is an opportunist, which to me, if you're befriending everybody in her friendship circle, you're an opportunist because you could just leave her alone and go about your business. That's how I look at it, but I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know the man. I don't really care one way or the other, but it just seems like I do agree with Heavenly. It is opportunist-like because why are you befriending all of her friends outside of her?
Mm-hmm. Okay, Mrs. Best.
Trying to drink this thick ass coffee. My bad. Well, I tell y'all, I should not. I don't know who told me to do YouTube. I'm annoyed. I don't like Toya. To me, when I look at her, I see the face of a pug I used to train when I was a dog trainer, and I can't get past it. I don't understand why she was in this hot ass jacket. I know that it's cold outside. But bitch, why are you wearing my curtains and drapes that my granny got in her living room? It's cold as hell, but it's not that cold outside. And I know that's mean and probably bad to say. But the whole time I'm sipping my smoothie, I'm like, girl, you making me hot. You making me hot. So I don't understand Toya, but I don't trust no bitch or no man who feel the need to become so close after the person that mutually brought them together is out of the picture. Like if it's, I get that we got to be respectful to our friends and who they date, But listen, Quad, I feel like Quad is the type of friend that did, like James said, try to keep her relationship private, but the group ousted her out the previous season, was trying to say they didn't like her. It does go back to Dr. G. So I don't quite understand why Toya would, how can you say Quad is a friend and she prayed with you while Ben telling us, shout out to your ex-boo. Like, I don't know how y'all do things everywhere else, but in Oakland, girl, we fighting in the streets. In the streets. Because what? Where's the loyalty? So I don't know. I'm and then Carlos King, don't get me started on him. We're both from Detroit. You making the interview about you and we don't care about you.
Exactly.
The only part of you we care about is that you fix them funky ass shows on OWN. So I don't understand it, but I feel like he might have a bad relationship with Bravo because it seems like whenever he can, he's trying to champion the show or making comments like, oh, I knew this show would be great. I'm glad it's finally getting the recognition it deserved. I'm just like, just go somewhere. All I want to know is if she's sorry for calling her man's parts little. That's all I care.
Go ahead, cousin.
Well, look, I don't know how much I need to say after that, but for me, she's contradicting herself because in this moment you're claiming that Quad is your friend, but then you're going to say Quad is just as much of a friend as King is to deflect off y'all relationship that y'all so say building with him. I don't trust the Negro. I never did. You know, he came on being flashy and fly and everything like that or whatever, just trying to be too charismatic for me. And I just felt like they was pump faking last season. And now everything is just crumbling because it probably really wasn't that genuine to begin with. And if it was, y'all crazy to let a show come and steal away from that. Trying to have a baby. Like, well, I should have left that where it was at, but that's a whole nother story in itself or whatever. But for me, Toya is just very obnoxious. And I be trying to like her, but it's hard. It really is. And just to keep mentioning King, like y'all don't really know this man like that. Like why y'all continue to advocate for these men in this lady life and y'all so say her friend? I don't understand it. And that's why Quiet is closed off. Because y'all keep showing her y'all really not her friend for real. I wouldn't want to open up to no women like none of these ladies at all. I would never be friends with any of them, especially Toya, because you are male identified and it's nasty. I don't like it. And she being fake, but you know, that's neither here nor there. But that's all I got to think about.
That. Also, peep that Toya is male identified. I be thinking that all the time, but I haven't seen anybody like really say it. But she is, and I feel like she gets away with it because she speaks so negatively about her own husband that it kind of makes you like, well, how could you be this way? But I do think she's male identified because I find it weird. Y'all, most of this cast is because Quad, like you said, when she broke up with Dr. G, I hope, God forbid, let me knock on wood, if I got to leave this man, if my friends treat me the way that they treated Quad when she got divorced, Lord, they are really lucky that she's bringing a man around. Like,
exactly.
Really lucky. But I agree with you too, Courtney, because how can you trust a man that came on a little bit? He's too charismatic.
Too much.
He's too calm and quiet. But then he snapped on Dr. G that last season in the sand, had Dr. G walking it back to the ocean. And I'm like,
and he's one of those people also that he knows how to point out everything that's wrong with her. And is that a way for you to deflect from us getting to know you at the end of the day? Like, it's weird.
Yeah. Because where's his baby mama? And I'm sorry, I'm going to say this. Don't judge me, right? Because I'm not even super religious. This is part of why, outside of Jesus, why you might want to wait until you have a baby with somebody. Mm-hmm. They done spent probably upwards hundreds of thousands of dollars flying back and forth to Africa and shit. They probably done spent hundreds of thousands of dollars for nothing. And even if she did get pregnant, she would have still been fucked over, fucked off, and done because you couldn't keep the man. So I don't know what Claude's
That's doing. The fastest way to lose one is to go and have a baby with him. He wanted you to continue to be the fun girl. You the fun AZ. You get to travel and stuff. If we go have a baby now, my daughter over here getting older, I'm gonna have to start all over again. I don't want to do that. And I don't blame them, but have those conversations. Just be honest and be real.
Well,
Don't waste my time. If I tell you I want something and you want other things, let that be known, and we can continue to have fun, or we can go our separate ways and I can go find what I really want. But yeah.
I just want to put preference. Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh no, I was gonna read the comments, but you can go ahead and then I go to the comments.
I just want to put on inference that she said that Quad brought him to us. So therefore, when Quad left him, you should have left him as well.
Yes.
Because it's not like a situation where she was married to him like she was Dr. G. To me, Dr. G, it made sense. It didn't make sense, but it made sense for them to have the relationship because he was on the show since the beginning. So it
and
made sense.
They also all in the same circle of doctors.
Yes.
And stuff. So it makes sense.
It made sense. This situation does not make sense for y'all to continue a relationship with him. So I wanted to also put inference that she said that, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, you just said Quad brought him to us. So when Quad left him, why didn't you too? Because to me, it's not like he was here from the beginning. It's not like she knew him from 20 plus years. And,
I'm sorry to interrupt you, friend, but something I learned when training dogs is very, very difficult to get them to understand and to change their ways unless you are consistent. And nobody is consistent in training Toya at all. So she's not going to see any. I feel like Toya sees life through her own perspective. If it don't impact her, she does not care.
Right.
I agree with that. But I just felt like that was an interesting thing that she would say.
Yeah.
Just to make a validated point that it's okay to still have communication with him because she brought him to us. So obviously she wanted him to stay. And it was like, no, that's not why she brought him to y'all. She felt comfortable.
Because if
one more thing. Toya better watch her husband because King over there hanging out with Mendices and they gonna go try to convert my good old friend Eugene to cross on over to the other side. She better be wary and watch out. That's all I'm saying.
Birds of a feather.
All right, y'all. We got 5 people in the chat. Shout out to everybody.
Hello.
Let me read the comments. All right. Carlos makes it all about him for sure.
Always.
What's up, 5X? Hi, everyone. Hope y'all doing well. That's speaking. Friends. I'm sorry. Let's put that up there. Okay, friends to everybody. This season, I see where this interview is headed. Why she feels it's her business to tell everybody else's story. Exactly. I agree. I wasn't shocked at all when a communication is missing. The relationship is already on life support. We saw it last season. We're seeing it again this season, and eventually the disconnect always. I'm sorry, y'all.
That's the truth.
It is the truth. Yeah, it is.
When they didn't want to move in together, I'm not selling my house. Well, I'm not selling my house.
I feel like they had 2 different perceptions of the relationship. That was very obvious from the beginning. I think because she has this persona to be the fun girl. I think that his mind was she just wants to enjoy, have fun. Yes, we can be in a relationship. Yes, we can be together and have fun and travel. I don't think that he went into this relationship wanting a family. And if he did, I didn't think he wanted this soon. I don't think that at all because it just didn't come off as like a relationship where it was going to be a foundation of marriage. I didn't see it that way.
Right. I agree.
Hey, Miss Kira, listen, y'all. Miss Kira is another fellow content creator. She does her collab. She does all shows, scripted and reality. She does her weekly segments. So if y'all please go around there, subscribe to her channel. She is dope. And thank you for being in a live, Miss Kira. I try to understand the reason behind Toya and her husband doing this interview.
Because they broke. And they shouldn't be.
Wait a
minute.
They
are. They are. Toya and Eugene, I pay the down payments on the house and he pays the mortgage. Bitch, the mortgage gonna amount to more than the down payment. I'll be there.
Dr. G looked so, yeah, that's true. Dr. G looked so bad it made King look good. So,
but them 2 are the same.
It is.
Okay.
And that means Quad need to go and do some more therapy and deep diving because you keep attracting the same kind of guy. So
She
All
just
right,
attracted the same man, but maybe about 25 years younger this time. 'Cause that is the truth. King give me the type of guy who behind closed doors, I feel like he's a totally different person. But I also feel like with Quad, whenever somebody gets out of like a long-term relationship, marriage, engagement, something like that, expect the first 4 niggas you see after that to potentially not be around. I'm just saying, because he's a rebound, in my opinion. But I'll digress. I'll be quiet.
Anyway, let's continue.
That you solicited King's service because he owns a luxury car dealership and he did a surprise for your son. Do you think you broke the girl code by keeping in touch with your friend's ex-man?
I don't keep in touch. I do not have his phone number. I do not have his DM. I know what his DM is.
Are you still following him?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. You
don't think you're trying to follow him?
Eugene and him are good friends.
But are y'all good friends?
Am I good friends?
With King.
I'm about as good of a friend with King as I am with Quad. Me and Quad are just getting our relationship together. So come on now. Now you know that shit. Okay, that's like that. God forbid, the day we good, tomorrow we not. So I can't. I'm not doing all that. Now Simone went and unfollowed Jackie the other day, but I don't unfollow people. Okay, it ain't that deep. Okay.
All right. I know I should have kept. Y'all want me to keep playing it or this her volunteering information. We didn't know Simone didn't follow Jackie. I didn't know that. I don't know. I don't know. She just do the most.
I knew it when it was all over the place, like when everybody was speaking on it. And what I understood of it is that it followed Dr. Jackie's interview on Watch What Happens Live. That's when she decided to do it. And I think this happened like 5 days later, this interview. So I think that probably at that point, it may hit the blogs by the time this was going to air. So, yeah.
All right. I was just wondering.
I just mute you. I will mute your story. Period.
So, okay. So when it comes to another revelation that happened, because this has been a busy Married to Medicine week.
Yeah.
Your friend, Dr. Simone, has been posting a lot of things about Dr. Jackie. She said that after Dr. Jackie appeared on Watch What Happens Live, Dr. Simone tweeted, "You are still defending the devil," in all caps.
Yeah.
And then Dr. Simone posted a screenshot of comments of people telling Dr. Simone that Dr. Jackie is not her friend. And we learned that Dr. Simone has unfollowed Dr. Jackie.
Yes.
What do you make of that?
I just feel it's actually really, really sad because Jackie and Simone go back to Simone being there when Jackie went through a huge ordeal with cancer. And I remember when we first started Married to Medicine and they said to me, nothing is going to come between us. Okay. Because we are this right here. And I was like, okay, girls. All right. And I believed them, and I hate to say it, but this time it is the devil. And I'm not going to call Heavenly a devil. I'm just going to say, I think it's a spirit on her because the reality is what y'all are seeing on television is half of the story all the time. Thank God for the camera. And that's why Simone kept saying, review the footage, rewind the tape in the green screen. And they did. And I love my production team for doing that because the girls will lie. And she lied. And Simone was not unhinged at all. And I'm not just saying that because that's my friend, because I defend even my enemy, period.
When you saw...
Ain't nobody defending the enemy. Bitch, boo, bye. Girl, bye. Just saying whatever so that you can sound good. She pissed me off because you're not going to tell me you don't have contact with my ex, but then say that you still follow him. And then say that I've been a friend to you and that we prayed together, but then also say that we still figuring out how to get in a good place. Because trust and believe, I'm not the most religious, but if I pray with you, for you, over you,
it means something.
It means something. And I feel like with most people, that does mean something. So I don't know. Toya.
That goes right along with this. Toya is a friend to no one. They are co-workers.
That part.
Absolutely.
And that's what they just need to admit. Like, it's okay. I don't really like it like that. I'm willing to film with you. I'm willing to be cordial with you. But I don't see it for y'all. And Quad need to be real and say why. The reason why you don't check for these women is because how they digged you after you left that man and you told them what that man did you and they called you a liar to your face. That's the root of it. But y'all haven't forgave her for y'all feeling tossed to the side or whatever the case may be. But you just admit, like, I don't see it for her. And it's okay. We can film though, and we're gonna have fun. but I don't like her.
Love to hide behind well, it's a show, guys. It's technically our employer. Well, then let's call a spade, bitch. If you work in McDonald's, if you work in a hospital, if you working at a place changing tires, it does not matter where you work. You go to work and to collect your paycheck. If you get cool with some people, fine. But even the people I made friends with at work, I have no expectations for anybody I met at my job.
No.
You can't. It's your job. So, right, vibe. The spirit owner. There's always somebody with a vexed spirit talking about somebody else's spirit. Always.
And all of that's the crazy thing. Everybody out here mad at each other when all of y'all literally do the same thing to each other, just in different fonts.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that, because I literally, that's my point with Married to Medicine on my recaps. They literally do the same thing to each other, but what they do is, because Dr. Heavenly got the bigger mouth, they want to make her the fall guy.
The villain.
Yes.
But if they didn't give Dr. Heavenly shit to talk about, they're literally giving her content.
Yes.
Because if I know that if everything that I say to Heavenly is going to come out, then I'm going to learn to not say every goddamn thing to Heavenly.
Exactly. Say the things you want to be. Exactly. That's common sense. You asked what gift did King give Toya's son, Mrs. Best? So
about it, I'm like,
okay, so I don't think they bought this car, but the little boy got his license, and the same Ferrari, I think, that he had on the show, they let him have for like maybe a weekend or something, because she has it on her Instagram, him driving the Ferrari.
That's what I thought. She bought him a
so
car.
Basically, Toya is willing to say F a friendship because her and her husband are so bad with finances that they can't afford to do something for their child on his birthday when he gets a license. So they relied on Quad's man.
I don't think they bought him a Ferrari. Like, I'm not thinking.
He's a rental. He has a rental company. They rented it.
Yeah.
So now they want the boy to be chasing after things he can't afford, like them.
Oh, child.
It's called generational curses for a reason.
Right. You got Toya's kids over here thinking they can live a life that they may not get if their parents don't get their finances together. They may not even get that college paid for. I feel like her kid's gonna end up on FAFSA.edu, and that's okay. But I genuinely feel like that's what's gonna happen when it don't have to be that way. And then on the other end of the show, her bestie, who she threw under the bus, Simone, her raggedy ass son, online ungrateful, talk about he's spending $60K on Wingstop, DoorDash, food,
and gas
while having a job.
While you working like a dog,
making over $60K a year, and you got your mommy and daddy buying your DoorDash for lunch.
So his mama, not the daddy, allegedly.
Daddy at home playing Baltimore mixologist.
Y'all see the video?
Like those wine spirits with Simone money, please. Anyway, let's keep going.
Simone grabbed Heavenly's arm.
Remove. Let's use the word remove Heavenly's arm.
Remove Heavenly's arm.
Yes.
Okay. Did you feel like that was enough for Heavenly to feel like you've gone too far?
No, because just before that, if you really rewind the footage, you'll see Quad and I'm grabbing Quad, like, calm down. When her and Simone, that was an unhinged moment. Quad pushed me, threw things back, security jumped in the midst. That's unhinged. Okay. What Simone did was make a statement. And the statement was, don't touch me. And I think anyone should be able to do that. Thank God we're able to do that on TV, because people will try to provoke you and put you in uncomfortable situations that make you feel like you have to react. And I can speak to it because I've been there. I remember people flipping my hair and all of that and everything else that came with it years ago, but it takes a strong woman to say, please take your hand off of me and I will not do this. And I respect it. Props to her.
Do you think Dr. Jackie is a good friend to Simone?
Ooh. I think that she could be a better friend to many. I think that there's a lot of times where Jackie has dropped the ball, and she's not the Jackie that I knew years ago. I'll never forget Lemon Squeeze Jackie. I'll never forget coming to her house and I was so sad and she had my back with Mariah and, something switched, within the last maybe 5 years or so.
That long?
I think so. I think honestly, it was something that happened when we were filming and Jackie broke into tears, and she was arguing with Mariah. It was the whole thing about the drugs and Jackie was just so hurt and broken and Heavenly came to her rescue. And I think from that moment on, that's where Jackie just decided I would rather not even stand up for anyone, if just to not be in that pain again. And you saw how she handled the Buffy situation. She was mortified, sad daily, but at the same token, you keep doing the same thing. You know, like she does some slip ups, you know, and I think we all do, you know, but the difference is she wants a pass for her slip ups, you know, and I know this is a little bit more than what you asked about friendship, but I think that a friend should be able to tell their friends when they're wrong. A friend should be protective, you know, and I think that Jackie would not have been okay with someone lying on her. She wouldn't have been okay with any of that. She would have been asking for them to be fired or saying that she will not be on the show anymore. And so why is it any different for Simone? And why would you go on national TV on Watch What Happens Live and not tell the truth, not defend that?
Do y'all want me to keep going, or do we need to dig into this whole her?
We need to dig into this because I missed this part.
Okay.
I missed this part.
The something that switched with Jackie, dumb bitch, was you laughing at her husband and her pain when her husband cheated on her.
I wasn't ready.
Stupid bitch. I don't understand what's wrong with this bitch.
Well,
Something switched in her 5 years ago. Well, 5 years ago, her man was everywhere from Hilton Head to the Dominican Republic, fucking on young tenderonis. So during that time, everything came out. It all played out on the show. Then you have the Buffy situation. Then you have the fact that they had to return to Hilton Head, which Miss Simone. Everybody's like, oh, Jackie is not being the best friend to Simone. But she tried to be a friend to y'all bitches. Y'all laughed at her, forced her to talk about the humiliation of being cheated on. And then she is going to be quieter too, because in the last 5 years, she went through that thing where she said that Black women be BSing about their pain and be acting extremely dramatic. I feel like Toya's just bullshitting and saying whatever she can based on her personal biases. And I don't care about her personal opinions on stuff. I just feel like she lacks accountability as a whole. I also think it's extremely tacky. If you have to film with these ladies, you're cool with Simone, it's extremely tacky to do an interview commenting on somebody else's issues that you have nothing to do with when you should be supporting and encouraging them to get back cool.
I agree.
I don't get what Toya is trying to do. I feel like she's trying to make division so that it's a nicer, more entertaining season. And at this point, I hope that people actually vote for Heavenly for Congress so that she could leave the show and Toya can see that she doesn't carry the show. She doesn't provide entertainment or interest. And without Heavenly there, it's going to show people that you are just Heavenly 25 years ago younger.
So this is what I'm going to say about this, because she needs to understand that because Jackie decides to be neutral in the situation, because it has nothing to do with her. And I feel like that's what we're missing when people, because a lot of people think like Toya, Jackie always sides with Heavenly. Jackie didn't say she sided with anyone. Jackie said, let them work them out between the two of them. They're grown adults. That has nothing to do with me. There's nothing wrong with that, first off. So this whole idea of Jackie always defends Heavenly, Jackie's always on Heavenly's side when it comes to Simone, I don't see it that way. I see someone saying, I have nothing to do with that. I'm friends with this one. I'm friends with that one. They get into it all the time. Then they come back together and be friends. What the hell am I supposed to do with that now? So I don't blame Jackie for that. I don't. Like, now, what I will say about the other shit she brought up, since she bringing up all Jackie's business in this interview as if any of that was supposed to matter. I feel like with the whole Mariah thing, Mariah was trying to get Jackie to go against Quad with this whole allegation thing and try to ice her out the same way they iced her out. That's a completely different situation. And the whole thing about, 5 years ago when she had that situation, Heavenly came to her aid, all of y'all should have came to her aid. Mm-hmm. Because at the end of the day, someone's trying to involve her in something she has nothing to do with. So if Heavenly said, hey, get up off my friend and defend her, where the hell were all the rest of you?
Yeah.
So no, I don't see it that way. And I don't know what her point was trying to bring that up, because that was mood. Like, no, that's ridiculous.
It's like Mimi said, she lives for, it's too quiet for her. She lives to
loves company.
Rock the boat.
Loves conflict. Yeah, like you're not okay. Honestly, if she really probably don't want Simone and Jackie to be friends, because if Simone goes over there, then who does Toya have? She alienates her friends. She talks down to her friends. She's cool with them in the first season, and then the second season, she completely dogs him out.
And she don't know how to talk to people.
Right.
Did y'all see how she handled Anila in that closet? Anila still trying to be her stupid ass friend. Excuse my language. But you still trying to be this helpful friend. And she talk to you like she don't like you.
I never saw for Neela in the first place. Ever since that shit she did with Dr. Contessa and her mama, I never saw for after that because I'm like, oh, you dangerous. You dangerous. I can't fuck with you. But what Miss Kira Speaks said is because the thing about it is, I do think that that's what it is. I think that she is intimidated that Jackie found a friend on the show that she could be just as close with as she is with Simone. I do think that that's what it is. And I wish Simone would be honest and say, I'm territorial when it comes to my friendships.
Yeah.
Jackie's been my friend longer than I've been friends with anybody else on this cast. I feel away. But she won't do that because that would make her look like a narcissist. That's why she won't do it. But at the end of the day,
she do already.
Yeah, it was like there are other ways to show that you look like one. So I mean, you might as well just go full-fledged.
And another thing, when we're talking about this whole unhinged Simone, let's be clear. Simone and Toya started that entire situation.
Yes.
Are you gonna say that Simone is not unhinged?
She is unhinged.
You and Simone have been screaming in my fucking ear for 12 seasons or however many seasons we're on. The only physical altercations that have happened on this show of Black Excellence has involved Toya. And when it's not a physical altercation, if it's a verbal altercation, when people are being verbally accosted, as our friendly shady
period
say, okay, when people are dealing with verbal stuff out of hand, it's Simone. She screams at people too when she's held accountable. I always bring this up on James's channel. I don't know if y'all remember seasons ago, something happened with Simone at an event with Mariah, and everybody was like, "You wrong, shut up." They was tired of her. She ran up out of there. Took a minute for Cecil to get her, and she just said, "I'm tired of you putting me in situations where I'm set up to fail." But I
remember that
big deal because he was actually trying to broker peace between the women and the group, and she viewed peace as somebody setting her up to fail. So I think something Simone and Toya have in common, they just want to look right. They don't give a fuck what it takes to get there. They don't care about showing the work in the equation. They just want to look right. But this is why it's also dangerous to be friends with people who don't hold you accountable. And that's what would hold each other accountable. They would see like Simone is unhinged. Unhinged doesn't mean that you got to be losing it and having a psychotic episode and knocking shit over. It doesn't always mean that. Unhinged could mean you just keep going off and don't stop. And that's what Simone does because
people can't calm you.
She does too much. Simone, she screams. I wish she go to the dentist.
I on her teeth, girl. Shut up. I'm sorry, y'all. Let's pick it back up.
When it comes to
just because she raised her voice that she be right, and it's aggravating.
No, because you loud and wrong. First of all, she be loud and wrong, but let me.
Do you think she sides with Heavenly more than Simone? And if so, why do you think she sides with Heavenly more?
She absolutely sides with Heavenly more, but I think that a lot of the girls look to Heavenly for protection. And it's crazy that I would use that word, right? You're like, protection. But you know what it's like when the girls come for you and it's more than one. A lot of us think that we can handle reality TV. I thought I could, but this is a beast right here. This is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. It's worse than birth, okay? All right, this right here, this and a tummy tuck. Those two things are the worst things I have ever, okay? And honestly, I just, she doesn't want to go through the fire alone. And Heavenly is willing to fight these girls' battles. That's why you see some of the new girls running up behind her, not even trying to see anybody else's point of view, just strategically. I mean, seriously, her and Quad's relationship, Heavenly, that's my friend. I love her, but I can talk now. Okay, well, I'm her friend too. Can I talk? Ooh. Can I do the same?
Can you?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. We're going to see. The reunion Friday.
And it's dropping Thursday.
Okay, that part.
Hey, we're getting content.
Yes, indeed.
Well, listen, when you talk about the girls following Heavenly, the new girls, Dr. Mimi is a new cast member, and she's very opinionated. I think she's wonderful for the show.
You do.
I love Dr. Mimi.
You mean Brandy? Are you talking about Brandy or Mimi? I'm sorry. Did you mean Brandy?
Toya Bush.
Did you mean Brandy?
Toya Bush.
I know you meant Brandy. Stop playing.
Toya Bush.
You don't mean Brandy?
I love Brandy too.
Okay, that's the realest one now, right? Okay, she's giving you herself. She's a breath of fresh air. Praise God for
I love
Brandy.
Brandy.
Thank you.
I've been very vocal about.
Okay, well, let's talk about Brandy. What you want to talk about? I'm just saying. I'm sorry. Am I taking over? I'm sorry. It's your platform.
As you do. It's okay.
I'm sorry.
I love you. You're my Detroit sister.
All right.
We grew up together.
That's all right.
I'm gonna get to Brandy in a second.
Okay.
Okay.
You are balance it out.
Hilarious.
Saying.
But I would like to start with Dr. Mimi. I think she's great for the show. Her husband is I can say this, you can't. Not that you would, but
Attractive? You think he's attractive?
oh yes.
Really?
I think Steve.
That's what the boys say. What? What? What are you saying?
I have never conducted an interview on this podcast that has been award-winning, featured in People Magazine, Shade Room, that has amassed today over 147 million views, where someone has beat me at my own game in an interview.
You know, it's God.
You are.
It's God. All praise. All praise.
You are really good.
You know, my pastor's wife said she would like to see what she wants the world to see, what she sees. And I said, okay, all right, I got you.
Sorry, y'all. Yeah. Do y'all have anything to say about this whole her, Mimi?
Don't talk about nobody else's husband when yours over there looking like a goddamn peanut M&M in brown form.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to say about a few things that she touched on. I do agree with her that the women do go to Heavenly for protection. Probably the biggest example of that is Dr. Contessa. So I feel like she's right. However, that doesn't make Heavenly wrong or make Heavenly this bad guy, because the other women look to her for protection. And what happens is, what she left out in that truth is that the women go to her for protection, but then they turn on her when Heavenly protects them, and it goes in their eyes too far. And I feel like that's not fair to do. Don't use her and then turn around and then shank her because she did it to where it now exposes you. That's what I don't like. And that's what I feel like she's leaving out in that. And I have to be fair. And I'm not caping for Dr. Heavenly, y'all, but what I'm saying is, if you're going to call a true, call the whole truth. Don't call part of it and then have nothing to back it up. All of you in some shape, way, or form depend on Dr. Heavenly to push the agenda forward. All of them do it. So I don't appreciate her using it as a way to demean Heavenly, because you all benefit from that. Mm-hmm. So I do wanted to check on that, because I felt like that was kind of messed up for her to even say that.
You can also be less messy and change the reputation of yourself on this show, so that maybe new people will not just feel like the only people they can cling to is Heavenly. They should feel like they can find an ally in the many different personalities that are on this show. But honestly, I don't even think there are issues with Heavenly. People just don't like Heavenly's delivery, because if you come for her, she's going straight to hell and she gonna take it there. But they all do the same thing, as I said before. But with Heavenly, I feel like as she's gotten closer with Dr. Jackie, the rest of the group has become more intimidated by her. Because if we think back to earlier seasons of Married to Medicine, nobody was really fooling with Heavenly like that. They was talking about weight, like nobody fucked with her. But now that she's cool with Jackie, because y'all bitches wasn't a friend to Jackie the same way you wasn't a friend to Quad, now they all feel away. And I always think of the fact, like, nobody wants Dr. Jackie on the show no more. Let's just call a spade a spade. She's boring. She's meant to be a physician, and nothing is wrong with that. But she continues on this show because Bravo and the production team loves her to death. So anybody that is aligned with her is probably going to look to the people on the show who are less interesting, grasping for straws, and have done nothing but get a coupon code for a cheap wine their whole tenure on the show. They don't like that because it threatens their job, their ability, their appearance, all of these things. So I really feel like everything comes back to Jackie. They just gonna be jealous. This was a hating ass interview so far.
Okay.
She's done nothing but hating all of her cast members. She's admitted no fault of anything. She's made herself look like an angel, and now she's talking about people's husbands and men. So if she come back next season after doing this interview that went viral, and the bitch is like, why is everybody treating me this way? Why is nobody standing for me? Listen, go get your Patron and sip it in the corner alone, because I feel like this interview will bite her in the ass next season.
It is. And I have a question for y'all, for the panel here, because she said that Brandy is given this season. What's Brandy's husband's name?
Well, I know it.
I don't
know it.
He gave her a dinner party he didn't stay at, but I don't know his name.
I don't know nothing about Brandy. I know that she's a nurse. I know she got her own business. She got 4 kids. I don't know nothing else.
Wide neck Brandy.
She got a thyroid issue.
that somebody on the cast pointed out.
That's
Yes. So it's like, I'm sorry, I'm not giving Brandy all of this. And not to say it could be a bad edit. I'm not saying it's Brandy's fault. But for Toya to hype up Brandy like that, it means
After you
that
It's
disrespected
only
her,
because Brady's been sniffing up behind them.
exactly.
So other than that, had Brandy went along with Mimi them, she wouldn't be checking for Brandy.
Yep.
And
Don't
it's
care
They
clear.
just really want people to like be yes people to them. Like they don't want to be held accountable in no way. So Brandy trying to get on and stay attached. So I see everybody going over here. I'm gonna go attach myself to the other side. That might guarantee me a spot next season. But she really don't bring that much. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was confused by why Toya said that, because I was like, who is Brandy again? Like, Angel is making more of a headway than Brandy is.
And Brandy tried to make a moment with Angel when they was on
And
vacation.
Dr. Mimi. Yeah.
Like, why are you picking a fight with a bitch you got to share a room with? Like, if it was something big, I get that. But we stuck in this room together.
And into Angel's defense, being from New Orleans, we just talk a certain way. It really was her asking, like, how are you as a roommate? Like, how you is as a person? Are you a morning person? Like, what kind of mood you going to be in? She may not have articulated it, in the best way. I don't think she meant any harm by the question. And for you to go run downstairs and try to hurry up and go make something out of that rubbed me the wrong way with her. And I just don't see it for her anymore. So Brandy ain't, I'd rather Dr. Mimi than Brandy next season if we're going to call a thing a thing. But I see you, Toya. She want her click.
Yeah.
Of course. We got the comments. Brandy who? And Angel. Angel is the nurse. I think Brandy is an esthetician. Brandy will speak up a smidge, but she's boring. That is, and to your point of Vibe X, yes, we are like Brandy who, and maybe it is a bad edit, like Courtney said. It could be a bad edit. And blah, blah, blah. Brandy is also a nurse. She is an MP.
Okay, cool.
I'm
gonna say this, that I still forgot her husband's name.
The only time we see Brandy is when it seems like somebody else is coming for her. Like the first time we really seen her, they did the introduction, but we didn't see her again until Toya's dog died. And then we didn't really get much for Brandy after that until she got into it, I believe, with Angel, and then with Contessa at the party. The only reason that party was filmed was because Contessa's hating ass was hating on the party her husband had thrown for her.
Yeah.
Outside of like other people coming for Brandy and giving her a moment where she can be relevant, she hasn't given us anything like individually.
Yeah, and again, I will piggyback off of Courtney. When you are from New Orleans, it is the way we say things and words that we use that nobody else use. Like y'all may say one word and that mean one thing to everybody outside of New Orleans. But when you're a New Orleanian, that means everything to us. Like this is what the word means here. So yeah,
I had many fights after Katrina because of the way I talk. Because I wasn't trying to offend anyone. But how we say it and what it might mean over here, it means something totally different over here. And so, it's no harm. Let us explain ourselves before you go run and go start some mess. That's all.
Even so, the way that Angel said that, my whole family's from NOLA, so shout out to NOLA. I love y'all.
Period.
But they do talk more direct and they do have their own lingo. I feel like New Orleans, the Bay, Chicago, like certain cities in America, like they really are their own culture, and we should preserve these places, but I'll digress there. But the way that Angel said it, even if we didn't know where she was from, like it wasn't a bad tone. Brandy is just looking for a problem. She wants to climb up Toya's coat and be her friend. I don't know what it is, but she's just looking for a moment.
That's what I'm saying. Because I didn't take what Angel said was bad either. I even said that in my review. I was like, I don't think she meant it in that way because it was like That's a fair question. I have to share a room with you. What are you like? What is your energy like? What is going on? Is there some habits I need to know about? Do you sleepwalk? Do you like there's things that I feel like if you're sharing a room with somebody, yes, ask questions. Don't just share a room with them because you might not know they snore louder than anything else. Like I don't feel like that was wrong. So
oh, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was gonna be done. I was like, I just feel like once again, we're just giving Toya's just trying to advocate to have more allies, and it's very obvious.
I think so. And to your point, if Angel, let me say this, being from New Orleans, you will know if we are pissed. There is a like, leave me alone, like a, like, leave me alone right now. But then there is this humbuggish side. Yeah, it ain't always good, but you'll know if Angel meant it in a harm. It's a totally different twist that we have. But that's all I wanted to say.
And being black as a culture, you know when somebody being shady.
Exactly.
You do. I just want Brandy, baby. Call your endocrinologist, take your hormone therapies, and run your business. Stop trying to be up somebody else's rear end, please.
My guys, on site.
All right, y'all. Let me finish.
No, listen, I love everything about you. You are really Dominic's interview. I'm here for it. Now, back to Dr. Mimi. I think Steve is gorgeous. I think he's stunning.
Yes.
No disrespect, Dr. Mimi, but Steve is extremely attractive.
And so is Eugene.
But you already know.
You want to give my man his props. He is extremely attractive.
First of all, we have a surprise. Yeah, First of all, I'm going to give Eugene his flowers when he gets here in front of you, because I have lots of questions about you and Eugene. Now, before he gets here, honey, I'm going to stick on Steve. Honey.
Okay. How long?
Okay. All right. Okay. Sorry, Mimi. Anywho, back to Mimi. I think Mimi's great for the show. Do you think Mimi is following behind Heavenly for protection?
Absolutely. I definitely think she's following behind Heavenly for protection. And really and truly, I would have to differ with you. I think Steve is great for the show. I do. I think Mimi, on the other hand, needs some work, but I think Steve is great.
What work does she need?
Just, you got to learn to stand on your own 2 feet. You got to stop. No, she does not. Okay. She likes to use special trigger words that she's learned being a psychiatrist. I take chaos. She's in chaos. She, am I safe with her? She, Heavenly didn't get that. She's unhinged. That was Mimi. Stop playing. When have we heard Heavenly say anything like that besides your mama? The people. Honey.
Wait. That was funny. I'm sorry. However, I think, like I've heard, she doesn't like Mimi. She knows that Mimi will clock her. Very professional. And I don't think Toya is ready. She's always been able to kind of run amok, just like Heavenly has. But now you have somebody that's like, which did piss me off, because she was like, Toya, this is not your time to speak. And I'm looking at her like, girl, you don't see Stevie. I ain't Stevie or Savannah. Okay. I just thought that what is Steve bringing to the show? Because Steve does nothing but.
Steve is actually like you, Toya. He's married to medicine him damn self. Okay. So, like, I don't like when people do this. Maybe because I work in mental health, but people like to do this. If you tell somebody, like, what do you do for a living? If I say that I'm a social worker, people will literally change up how they interact with me. I feel like sometimes some people who don't want to change and know they need to change are intimidated by those that may work in certain specialties or have degrees in certain fields. Because little do people know, if you're a counseling student or going on the mental health of any sort, they're teaching us how not to like apply and be unprofessional, how to separate basically work from how you are in your regular life. But the public, they don't know that, especially we have Black stigmas about mental health and counseling. So I feel like Toya is literally just intimidated by Mimi because of her field of work, because she knows that Mimi can clock her, read her, and then provide scientific evidence and cite her fucking sources. Like, that's all it is. Because we've had people who've worked in mental health on this show before. Buffy's husband was in psychiatry. You didn't feel like he was good for the show. We've had Dr. G, who was in psychiatry. Y'all was standing for him even after hearing he was dragging Quad throughout his same fucking house that he's still in with the new wife. So, I don't know. They are very... Toya just gives me insecure. I notice any new woman that comes on the show that is more successful than Toya as it relates to business or entrepreneurship, or if a woman comes on the show and is more educated than Toya or educated in certain fields, it seems like she tries to find a way to come for them, Brandy included, while she's sitting here talking about that's her bestie. But yeah, I don't know. Toya, girl, stop. And Eugene is not fine, baby. That's the peanut M&M at the bottom.
I was like, I had to get off camera for that one because there's no way you finna play in my face, Toya.
You can't then call your husband fine after publicly telling the world his dick is small and lusting after the other young work that quad didn't happen.
I'm just saying, like, Toya, stop. Just stop. You trying to save your ass now. We see it. You're trying to save it because you've been dogging this man, and yes, his hind parts for a long time. So yes, let's not do that. I do think that she was trying to call Steve sassy. I do. I feel like,
of course,
you know, because y'all know how Carlos get down when it comes to somebody else's husband, you know, and his opinions and everything. So I do think that they were reading each other.
He like everybody's husband.
He loves a husband.
He do, and it's just like, and the Carlos, that it just comes off so thirsty. Like, I'm just like, stop doing that, please. That's like, here's the thing, and I might be biased. I don't think Steve is fine. He's cute, but I don't think he's fine. I don't think it's all of that. He has great taste in clothing. I will say that. I want a few things he's had on this season and the previous season. But other than that, there's not too much glorified about him to me.
Agree.
Yeah.
All right, let's just move it forward. Oh.
Okay.
I see why I'm obsessed with Married to Medicine. You don't watch this show. I don't know what the fuck you're doing. It's the best show.
Because we want the truth. Everybody wants the truth. Like, let's stop with
But
the.
you don't think Dr. Mimi is being truthful, child?
I think that she may. Hey, I can get under the people's skin. Okay, I didn't know I was made for TV, but I guess I am.
You are
okay.
the TV.
So it is what it is. Okay,
You're
so
Samsung.
Can I be Sony?
Okay. Okay.
You know, but I get it. You know what I'm saying? I understand. All I'm saying is, if I can give Mimi any advice, if you want to stay on Married to Medicine, learn how to have your own opinion. Learn how to stop trying to pretend like you're psychoanalyzing your friends, but really you're judging your friends, because none of us has sat on your couch. None of us have spent any time with you outside of filming. And so you know nothing about any of us, except for Quad and Heavenly. Those are the only individuals you can diagnose. Period.
Has she tried to get to know you and Simone?
No.
And
No, she doesn't call us. There's been numerous times where my husband tried to reach out to Steve. Maybe my husband too fine for him. You know, it was competition. You know what I'm saying? He can't hang out with my man. My man work. Okay? I'm just saying.
Steve works.
Yeah.
What does Steve do?
I think what is right, which I'm okay with.
No,
You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
I think the office manager, in every scene, they say go to work. I ain't seen no work, but they just say go to work. I don't know, but I don't know. Is there paper on this desk? I don't. You tell me. I mean, let's rewind it.
I mean, should she be the last person to talk about somebody working? But I just,
baby, you've been on this show for over a decade. When Toya came on this show, when this show premiered, Toya was there. I remember being, I believe it was 21, working at a daycare. Okay, she's still on this show, and the bitch has done nothing but get 10% coupon code for the cheapest wine that you could get in the Napa Valley that don't even work no more. So I feel like if you have a platform, you should utilize your platform in the best way possible, as we all are right now by collaborating. So if you're on reality TV and you have the opportunity to get brand partnerships, business deals, open businesses, start things, consolidate your money, do like Quad did and invest. Like, she has so many options with this platform and has chosen to do nothing but waste millions of dollars throughout the years on houses that she can't even go back to. So before you talk about somebody else's shit, make sure your shit don't stink. That could be why she's in brown, though. It could be why she's in brown.
Here's the thing.
Toya really, to talk about someone's husband and to allege things like that doesn't make sense to me. I also feel like that was kind of not the smartest thing to do in the current climate. But Toya as a whole, I think she feels like Mimi judges her friends because Mimi has judged her, which is true. And I cannot blame Mimi for judging her. And I'm glad somebody finally said something, because I say on James's lives all the time, Toya ain't nothing but a drunk bitch that knows how to get pretty. Because every scene we see her in, she got a drink. Every time she get into something and snapping on Eugene is because she's been drinking. So before you talk about other people, sober up and figure it out. Please figure it out.
This is also what I want to say, Toya. Steve played professional football. It wasn't like he was riding Mimi's coattails on this show. So don't be disrespectful like that, because that's crazy that you would demean this man and act like he was just some ain't shit ass, ninja that just, found this psychiatrist and is living off her. Let's not do that. Like, that's messed up. Like, I feel like, to me, you wrong for that. Like, and I'm not saying she shouldn't go at Mimi because, yeah, they've had their banter. Fine. But to say what does he do as if you did not know he was a professional football player when you met him, that's crazy to me.
Okay. But my thing is this. What a double standard, right? Like, what if they did have an agreement that he would be a stay-at-home dad? He never played football, and that, they became successful and they built a good firm together and have a nice clinic and all of the things and stuff. What makes it so different between you and Eugene, Mama?
Tell the truth, shame the devil, because it ain't too much different.
It ain't. Y'all in the same boat if we're going to look at it. If now he's a stay-at-home dad, but at least he contributed something to the situation. Like, they're both successful. He's able to do whatever he's doing, but they're clearly making money and ain't moving and bouncing from house to house. So you're always going too far. And when somebody tell you something back, then y'all want to cry and play victim. That's not cool. I didn't like that. That was real shady.
Because let's keep it real. If we're going to be honest, Mimi only see patients 2 days a week. Eugene got to drive 2 or 5 hours from the house to go to work.
You talking about?
And I'm starting to think that that's the choice. He trying to get away.
I've been saying this, Courtney, on the live, and people be like, Mrs. Best, be nice. You reading them people fulfilled. No, I am not. Because if my man gets a job and he got to be away from the house for 5 days out the week, he gonna be like, Amina, quit your job. You riding with me. I'm not gonna be alone and have my coochie sitting all the way across the damn state of Georgia. No. Who does that? Yeah. I don't understand it. Toya, the other thing, you talking about their relationship and what's going on with him and coming at him as a man for living his life the same way she lived her life, which is crazy. But at the very least, at least Steve did something with his own career, because half of the housewives on Bravo, that's why Toya got to be careful what she say, because half of the housewives on Bravo come from retired ball players and sports guys. Half of them are with people like that. So you don't see them questioning what they doing for work. Toya is crazy. She needs to focus on doing better so that her man doesn't have to travel so far just to make a living. It's true. If you give a fuck about your husband and you really a wife, you're not going to be okay with watching your man run his body and his mind, because he's a doctor, into the ground. I remember Eugene crying after COVID. I just can't do it. It was a lot. And now she got him driving from Timbuktu down to fucking Taiwan just to go to work so that she could come on TV and act the fool.
And move.
Listen, my man was a truck driver. You understand? And I still work 2 jobs. We're not about to be out here struggling. For what?
And she got a degree. I'm like, I don't know how anybody else feel. All the motherfucking student loans, I'm using that degree. You better believe I'm using that degree.
Since you got your degree, you know everything. Go to work.
Right.
Y'all ready?
Yeah.
Yes, Lord.
Is Steve the male version of Toya?
Oh my goodness. That's why he's so cute. Okay? That's it.
Wait.
Yes. I told you he's perfect for our show. He's perfect.
Because baby, you are.
We need, a bunch of old men, you know what I'm saying? It's nice to have a little youthful, Yeah.
Okay, speaking of youthful, Angel, I think is great for the show.
She is. Angel is breathtaking. Angel has, to be honest, Angel spoke up a lot. I'm not going to bite Angel's bait, because really and truly, Angel knows TV. And she needs something for the reunion. She does. Because, a lot of times Angel spoke up and it just wasn't shown. And I think because she has a big booty. And I think they was like, baby, that is better TV. It is what it is. She looked great in her clothes. Don't you remember that cute little silver dress? Oh my God, it was popping out in every direction. She was talking about God at the same time. It was crazy. Okay. But I will say this. I love having Angel on the show. She's spicy. She's pretty. She is fun. And I love the fun girls. And I think the more youth we add to our show, the funner the show is, because I'm a different person when I have my youth around me. So I love Angel on the show. Great. Thank you for hiring. Good job.
And you are a Proverbs 31 woman yourself.
Yes.
You know what that means?
I know. I would like to be a Proverbs 31 woman. I mean, there's some things in that proverb, like, meekness, kindness, all these things. It's some things that I'm working on.
I'm going to read to you.
Okay,
and you tell me if Toya Bush Harris
I'm working on
is a Proverbs 31 woman. You ready for this?
Yes.
Okay.
Because she did call Simone a Proverbs 31. Proverbs 31 woman. You should be a Yeah, she was quoting it. I saw that too.
Yes, I'm going to tell you
what it is. Let's see what
you ready?
It is.
Okay, y'all ready for this? Okay, I'm going to read this, child. Okay. Virtuous and trustworthy. Is that you?
My friends would say so.
Earning her husband's full confidence.
Yeah, he would say so.
Okay. Strong and dignified.
Oh, very.
Generous and wise.
Absolutely. My sons would say so.
Faithful.
Yes, I think yes.
You think?
I think it's hard to faithful to what?
Faithful to your husband.
Oh, I'm faithful to my husband and to married to medicine. Absolutely.
Oh, my bad. It said her ultimate. It really means faithful to God. Her ultimate praise is based on her fear of the Lord rather than merely her beauty or her charm.
That part.
Is that you?
That part, baby. I'm not going to hell for nobody. And I always say that too. And the girls know down to the, they all know. If there's one thing I can get from Toya is a prayer, I can get, they know that my relationship with God is strong.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm scary, you know, about, I don't want to go to hell. I don't want to lie. When I was younger, there was a lot of things that I did that I'm not proud of. And they are
like having Eugene do your term paper to get a date with you?
No, like stealing, like, being arrested as a child, just putting my mom through hell, rebellious, rebellious spirit, and I think when I look back, if I could just redo some parts of my life, but it's okay because, God said, guess what? I got grace for you. And look at you now. He said, because some people won't see. If I wasn't on TV, you would never think. My friends know that there is, that Toya, I read somewhere on Instagram and it said, if my girlfriend had 6 husbands, then I have 6 brother-in-laws.
Mm-hmm.
And neither one of them will know because that's my girl.
Yeah.
And I am faithful to my friends. I value the friendships that I have. I just got back from the DR with 50, from my girl just turned 50, and I've known her since I was in 6th grade. All of my friendships date back that far, except for the girls I'm married to medicine. But even with them, it's been over 15, almost 18 years for some of us.
Yeah.
And I'm a faithful friend. I am, but there comes a time where being faithful doesn't mean you have to lie. And I've never asked my friends to lie for me, and I'm not going to lie for them.
Based on what I read about the definition of a Proverbs 31 woman.
Well, you was confused. You thought they were talking about Eugene.
No, I'm saying, no.
So let's redo that. Let's talk about God.
No. So with that being said, I'm going to say a name and you tell me if they are a Proverbs 31 woman based on the definition.
Ooh,
do you remember it?
Look at my baby. He done showed up. Hey, honey.
Oh, this is perfect timing.
Hey, honey. Here, come on. They gonna
Ladies and gentlemen, Eugene Harris.
Nice.
Look at Eugene.
You look amazing.
Eugene.
Look at my baby.
No, Eugene is, when I had Eugene and see some podcasts, first of all, the numbers went through the roof because it was nice to hear just from them.
Yeah.
And the way they love up only women.
Well, that's
This
what
man
sets
loves
us
you.
apart. But that's what sets our show apart too. Our men are there working for free. They are not being paid.
Yeah.
They are just there to support their wives. And that is a very loving place because there's a lot of housewives husbands that say, they're not doing it.
And the thing is, like I said this publicly because I already said it, Cynthia used to give Peter 10% of her paycheck.
Oh, and Simone might. She might. You should ask her. I don't know. But Eugene gets way more than 10% because Switzerland was way more. Okay. That part.
What did I miss?
So much.
Girl talk.
So much.
Don't worry, there's one question I want to get your opinion on.
Oh, yes. I know what that is.
You really are. Okay, so listen, Raindrops, we are blessed with the presence of this great man who I revere so much. I'm not getting emotional.
You should. He just drove in from work.
No, but I know he did, but that's not the
2
reason.
hours for you.
No, but he also, the thing about Dr. Eugene is I was going through something personal. You know about that.
Yes. Oh.
Yes. And I called Toya and I said, I need to talk to Eugene.
Absolutely.
And Eugene was there for me. And I just want to say for the world to know, this is a good man, Savannah.
Yeah.
Like in real life, this man helped me through something that I was going through on a personal level through somebody in my life. And I just think you're the greatest thing in the world. So give it up for Dr. Eugene Harris.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Now, you didn't miss all of the girl talk, but I do have to, you came at the right time because I was reading the definition.
They say I need to stay out of women's business.
That's right.
Not
your wife's business.
Not reality with the key.
My business is your business.
I agree. This man's also in women's business, so welcome to my world.
Anything concerning his wife is his business.
Period.
Period.
So, as you know, Angel mentioned on the show a Proverbs 31 woman, and I want to know if your wife fits the description. Virtuous and trustworthy.
Yes.
Strong and dignified.
Yes.
Generous and wise.
Yes.
Faithful.
Yes.
Now, with that being said, I'm going to name some names, and you tell me if they are a Proverbs 31 woman, okay?
For me or him?
Both of y'all.
He can't.
No, okay, fine.
Okay.
Okay, fine, for you.
Okay.
But you can make a noise if you disagree. Okay.
I make faces.
Okay, Proverbs 31 woman. Dr. Heavenly.
She is not trustworthy. So no.
Okay. Dr. Simone.
Yes.
Dr. Jackie.
Yes.
Quad.
I'm developing the trust. We're trying. But in the past, there has been some things that has shown me that. I think trust and faithful. But if we're talking about faithful to God, that's different. I think we're all striving to be Proverbs 31 women. And I don't want to say that I can judge anybody because I fall short.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dr. Mimi.
I don't know her.
She's a castmate.
She doesn't call me. We don't spend any time together. We're on a group thread. That's all I know.
Y'all wearing matching pajamas celebrating Christmas.
Quad brought them for us. At Walmart. Okay.
Not Walmart.
Walmart. Yeah.
No shade to Walmart.
No shade to Walmart. I mean, it could have been Target, but it was Walmart.
We're not going to Target right now.
I mean.
Okay. Wrapping things up, Brandy.
Absolutely. Yes. From what I spend time with her, I speak with her. I said earlier, my father is going through some things in the hospital. Brandy has been there for me. Simone has been there for me. Thank you. Yeah, they've all been great. Everybody else has given their prayers in my friend group. Quad has prayed with me. But yeah, she's been a great friend. And I love the fact that when Mimi tried to put her on the spot and tell her who she should align herself with, Brandy said, I'm gonna need you to not talk to me like, girl, I got this. I don't need you to do any of that for me. Okay. I was like, that part. Okay, because you're grown and you have your own voice and you're not manipulated by the people. That part.
And last but not least, the woman who made the statement alive, Angel. Is Angel a Proverbs 31 woman?
I'm getting to know Angel. Honestly, the longest time I've spent with her was after the party we had at the house where everybody said I went crazy and went off on my husband in a disrespectful way. She stayed. Angel stayed, Quad stayed, King stayed until 3 a.m. We were all outside talking.
Yeah,
Had a wonderful time.
Well,
Isn't that something?
I'm
Had a
glad,
wonderful time.
I'm glad we get to talk about that. But before we get to talk about that night that literally broke the internet, I do want to ask you, Dr. Eugene.
Any thoughts on this part, the whole Proverbs 31?
Like Mrs. Best said in the chat, the Bible says not to judge others as they play a game judging others. I feel like Toya is not qualified to say who is, out of this cast, a Proverbs 31 woman. I think that that's very crass. All of you showed traits that you're not something in that passage throughout the years. So I think that that's very gut wrenching for her to actually participate, because I would have told him I don't think I'm qualified. I think I've shown places where I've come up short, because Toya has. Let's not act like she has not come up short on some of that passage. So I just feel like that was kind of odd to ask that question, Carlos. I thought that was very odd. There's something else she said too in here that I feel like it probably will come to me later, but that's all I'm gonna say for now.
Okay.
Anybody else? Listen, I grew up Muslim and then we converted to Christianity later, and I did align more with it. All I know that every church, no matter what type it's been, is that only God can judge. Shout out to Tupac. And in addition to that, let people discover certain things about themselves. We are not supposed to be judging others. The Bible says things like humans are flawed. We're expected to sin. It's repenting and how we atone for them that counts. Like, I don't like that Carlos played this game, one, because you don't have to be religious, but I think you should respect religion. And to make a game out of a proverb kind of irritates me a little bit. I don't even know why, because I ain't been to church in many years, but I do pray, I do read a Bible. And I feel like certain stuff you just don't play with. It's giving Brittany Renner, Carlos. It really is, because the fact that you would even ask this question or come up with this game is crazy. And I'm not letting this slip through. Even Toya has the sense to know that Eugene should not be answering questions about the type of women that the women on the cast are, because one, they're not his women and he married. Stay in your place. And then two, I don't like when men feel the need to be judging and speaking on women, because niggas be flawed as hell to themselves, and Eugene is clearly flawed as well. So it kind of irritated me, all of that as a whole. I think the whole game was just like, ugh. It was just trifling and tacky and uncouth. But it's Carlos King. Like, y'all may disagree with me on this. James will know, and those who watch like James's channel knows I have very strong opinions on his shows. I don't feel like they're good. They give me great value Walmart compared to, Nordstrom. Okay, that's what he gives me. And I feel like he don't like Black women. Like, I just do. I feel like women, or something happened with women that made him have a disdain towards us. Because if you look at all of his shows, the women look a fool. Yeah. He makes sure the women look a fool. And then when he's doing his interviews, how you say you love the show while judging other cast members with the person. Like, I expect the interviewer to be not biased and just interviewing and asking the questions that the audience wants to ask. But I feel like he's going out of his way to be messy, and I'm tired of it. Like, I will never hop on the praise Carlos King fucking train. Yeah. Even the seasons of RHOA were the most violent and ratchet seasons we got, which was good for entertainment, but they never recovered from that once the dynamic changed. So I just want him to be careful in what he do. And I'd also like to say, and y'all may not like this, just because you gay don't mean you can question and say certain things to women, gentlemen. It doesn't. You are still a man, and you need to behave like so. So I'm tired of Carlos, this loud ass fucking bald head. I'm sick of him.
Messy and uncalled for. And if y'all are really trying to build friendships with each other, seriously, why go do these things? I don't understand. Like, I don't know. I'm a girl's girl, and it's just certain things. Even if I don't like you, it's just certain things. I'm just not gonna fool with it. It was a way to redirect that and turn it into something else and try to make it funny, but it was very cringe. Him being all giddy and everything and stuff with Eugene and everything, and it's just like he's just too excited And he's too excited to be messy. I don't understand Carlos.
I think Carlos got started in the industry, probably enjoying being in a background production. I think he does have a talent for what he does. I don't think he's a person that should have branched off and done his own thing. Some people need a supervisor. And I feel like he definitely okay. He needs supervision at this point. It doesn't make any sense, but he definitely has a disdain towards women. And I wanted to stop, and I feel like he gets away with it. And I don't understand why. Tyler Perry too. They both get away with a lot because we are trying to uplift each other in the Black community. But come on, Black people, if you get a platform, please don't do this.
They gonna do whatever. So I guess he about to get into it with Eugene, but if anybody have anything before I play the
no, because this about to be my favorite part right here. So come on, I'm ready for this. This is about to be my favorite part.
Oh wait, hold on. Let me get.
Recent news broke that King and Quad have broken up, and I wanted to get your thoughts on it. Are you surprised by the news, or did you see it coming?
I hate to say I kind of saw it coming to a certain degree, only because, and I'm actually cool with King. And I think, he's a new friend, but I actually would use the word friend. We actually talked, hung out on Father's Day. Like I hang out with King. King always had an issue. I think that the focus of their relationship was baby only. When you're a new couple and you're just getting to meet this person, the focus should be getting to know them, not fertility stuff. And I think there was too much focus on other stuff other than really establishing their bond. And I think it affected him to a certain degree.
Have you spoken to him since the news broke, or did you?
I told him the news broke. I said, "Hey, King, you all over the internet."
Well, he broke the news himself. He told us first.
He talking about before that news.
What news?
No, he didn't know that his comments were on the internet.
Oh, well, he went on the internet and made the comment.
I know he didn't know that it would
hit him viral.
Yeah.
Oh.
I was like, "Hey, King, you're on TMZ." He's like, "Huh?" So I sent it to him. He's like, "Oh."
But see, did TMZ call him because they called Quad, or did Quad call TMZ?
Quad's statement came after King's stuff blew up, I believe.
When did you know they broke up?
When did I know they broke up?
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
Fair to you.
He said it's been done.
Because?
I think because the focus was off. Like they just weren't on the same page,
Not at all. We would advise everyone to enjoy your relationship for as long as you can and establish a bond between each other so that hopefully once you have the kids, that bond is first. It's unbreakable in front of the kids. And our kids, I tell Eugene all the time, hey, we have to be on the same team. We do.
Yeah, let me retract that statement. Because actually, even when I think of, like, I've been, we go to marriage counseling.
Yeah.
So one of the things I've been trying to really self-reflect on some things. I'm like, and thinking about things more philosophically, almost. I think when a man and woman fall in love, when she has a baby, she falls in love with that baby to a certain degree. And it's hard to be in love with two people at the same time, in love, And so when you look at a man and woman after they have children, the focus does shift off the man to a certain degree. And I think they never had, the full experience of falling in love because they were probably going in that direction, but then shifted to, I want to have a baby. So King's like, as a man, well, what about me? What about us?
Like those are the questions I would ask him. What made you put aside everything that you need for her needs? Why did you stay and film and continue when y'all were not in a good place? Like, that's what I want to answer. And I never asked, and I could have. But if you ask and and someone asks you, then you're obligated to tell if they ask for the truth. And so I'd rather not know so much, But I think there's a story there, definitely.
Well, we will find out. But what I will say is there's a story going on with YouTube that has rattled social media. Yeah. Episodes ago, you guys had a party at
y'all. What was y'all thoughts about that?
Let me tell you this. If someone, James went through a breakup recently. I ain't shared shit unless he mentioned it on the internet. And it's going to stay that way. I don't care if I got permission. I don't care his trust of me. Why are they speaking on Quad and King's breakup more than Quad and King have spoken on the breakup? Let them other people tell their story. It is not your story to tell. Listen, Miss Eugenia and his pet need to go get some training. And I stand by that because I can't stand a messy man. I cannot stand a messy man. And Eugene, you putting your foot in your mouth too, because why would King, you saying you guys are building a friendship, why would he want to continue building the friendship when you have exposed that there were problems, said you don't think they were in love, publicly saying all of these things about their relationship? Like, how is King going to trust you after you do an interview just because your wife wants you to do an interview? Like, this is why men be on the internet calling Eugene a simp, because only a weak nigga would do some shit like this. And then for him to have the time to come to do this interview and be messy after work, No, Eugene is just as bad as Toya. That's why they're together, and that's why he put up with it.
I agree with that. But here's the thing. King ain't got no problem with this because King trying to come back next season. So, and I do believe that. I do believe we will see him in some capacity next season after the breakup. But I do agree. I feel like why speak on the matters of their relationship if neither one of them have come out and said what was the downfall of their relationship? I feel like you weren't in the relationship with them, so I don't think you should speak on it until they have spoken on what it is. And I'm sure Quad is waiting for, well, they just filmed the reunion, but the reunion to speak on where they went wrong.
I'm
So,
a bit
yeah.
scared too.
Don't amplify it even more because it might be a possibility they might want to try again a second time. Don't make it worse.
Thank you. That's why people need to learn how to mind your Black-owned business, y'all. Is so important.
Yeah. That's why people are scared to confide in other people.
Yep. Because you never know who's gonna come out talking about it. But Miss Kira Speaks is correct. King is grown as hell. If he can go on the internet, commenting to people he does not know about the relationship status ended, then King should be able to open his mouth to say, Quad, I already have a kid. We don't even know if we want to live together. Maybe we need to slow it down. But nobody did that. So what can we do?
I want to respond to Miss Kira Speaks. I do think that to some capacity, we will see him. I do, because something that Dr. Heavenly said is that since the breakup, he's been trying to reach out to the men of the show and try to still have that relationship. Now, here's the thing. I don't have a problem with that, but the problem I do have is that in the capacity that you're trying to get friendships with these men, are you trying to come back to the show and have it? Or are you trying to keep it private? Because how would Heavenly know that this is what you're doing? That's just how I feel.
Y'all think they're gonna film the aftermath of the breakup and all of that?
No, because they're done with the season. They've been done with the season since November. So they just filmed the reunion this past Friday. So I think that this is gonna be, if we see anything continuing on from them, it's gonna be in the new season. Whenever they decide to pick up filming again.
Yeah. I just think that this lady just got divorced. Like, and I feel this way about Sweet Tea and Dr. G too. They got married too soon, the same way Quad and King skip steps too soon. I don't know. I want Quad to figure it out. Girl, just adopt.
Right.
Just adopt.
Well, see, the thing about Sweet Tea and Dr. G that makes it different from King and Quad, she let her slip show with her intentions. And I think with King, we didn't see that in the beginning. We saw it later on, like after it's all said and done. So I think there is a difference. I think with Sweet Tea, she was determined to be with this man, give him the baby that I don't think she's given him yet, and all that. She was determined to do that. So there was a little bit more of a cloud chase there than I feel like with King.
Oh my God, Sweet Tea.
I can give you what you want.
Lord.
That's what she said. I only could go based on what she did there. Like, I can't, unless she shows me differently.
The doctor said to her on camera, so as you know, you have endometriosis, which makes it very hard for women to have kids. It's possible. But she said that at Dr. G's face when she said that, it looked like he realized, oh, I got. Because I know that not many women are in Dr. G's DMs. No shade.
I understand. All right, y'all. Let's just jump right on in. He about to talk.
House, and you two got into an argument, and we don't have to get into the specifics of it because y'all were there, we all watched it. But Toya, people do not like the way you speak to your husband.
Yeah.
And they think you emasculate him on purpose. They think you don't respect him. And even Heavenly has said something along the lines of, you treat him this way maybe because you want something else. What do you have to say to people who feel this way?
I think I'll start from the back end
Okay.
with Heavenly. I think that we all think at some point in our life that we need or deserve something else whenever things aren't going our way. And I think when it comes to my husband, the one thing I know for a fact is that he chose me and God spoke to me and said he was for me. And I was like, what? You know, I wasn't even ready for marriage really, but he was like, that's for you. He's for you. And ever since we've been together, we've been blessed and because we're obedient. And I was obedient to God. And so I know that Eugene is for me. It doesn't mean that we're not going to that we're going to be the perfect couple. I've only met one couple that I say sometimes is borderline perfection. They laugh all the time. It's my aunt and my uncle. But the reality is Eugene and I have been on camera now, I think, for almost 13 years.
Mm-hmm.
And so the camera no longer is present. It's almost like it's a little stranger in the room, but it's like you don't really pay any attention. And that particular day, it was a real life scenario that was something that me and Eugene we fought to overcome. In the beginning of our marriage, we would have some heated discussions in front of our friends. And it was uncomfortable for them because they loved us both. We would even try to make them choose sides. It was bad. And I think that the public is right to a certain extent. I shoot from the hip. I'm blunt. I can be rude. I don't mean to emasculate my husband. And I definitely, it's not my intention to attack him by no means. I do feel like there are times when I'm unheard and I need more self-control when it comes to speaking to my husband, whether it be during a camera, around friends or in private. I think that we both are a work in progress, but I'm by no means perfect. And that's my prayer now. That's my struggle. And I'm just glad that my ultimate judge is God and he knows my heart. He knows that I'm really trying to be a nicer person when it comes to my husband. And we even learned in our marriage counseling that we have some triggers that we've had for years, and one of my triggers is not being heard because as a child, I always felt like my voice I couldn't use it in my mother's house. It was her word and that's it. Mm-hmm. And so when I grew up, I was like, nobody gonna tell me, and it was all of that. And, growing up in Detroit, it was like, it's a battle sometimes, my family, it is what it is. And
yeah, because Detroit, we're from the same, obviously.
Yeah, we can polish up nice, but
in Detroit, you're not, again, there's exceptions to the rules, but being raised in Detroit in a household with parents, you are not allowed to have a voice.
No,
at all.
It's what they say. In his household, he was raised the same way.
Yeah, I think there's, I think the public obviously sees us and judges us, and we're pretty open. I think we give a good representation of who we are, but the public still doesn't see the whole Toya. They don't see the whole Eugene. Like I know how she grew up. She knows how I grew up. I know her parents. I know her where she came from. I know all these other aspects of, like, you just might see Toya saying something. I know where it came from. So I get it. If I know the backstory and understand the whole person, sometimes when she says something, I may not take it the way the public's going to see it because I get what's happening.
And it's not him making excuses for it.
No, it's
I think it's him recognizing too that there's some things that happened in when he was growing up, and they may have made him a certain type of way where he triggers me. And
what does he do that triggers you specifically?
I mean, can I be honest? Are you sure?
I don't know what you about to say.
I mean, I think that one of my triggers is I don't like for him to drink a lot. Especially on camera. I think in that scene, they thought I was drunk, but really and truly, my husband had worked hours and I ate.
I was having a good day.
And he was having a great day. and I was pissed, and I was trying, and I'm so used to him being my ride or die and helping me through these scenes. And that day he was kicking it with the guys. And I'm like, we're trying to make a show. What are we doing here? And so it just, it was things that was happening that just were, it was triggering for me. And when I kept trying to get his attention, and I was like, hey, honey, can you do this? They only showed, we were at my house for over 4 hours. They showed a 45-minute version of it. There were so many times where I asked over and over. Scott had even stood up and was like, I'll do it, Toya, And it wasn't that I was trying to get him to do what I say. It's not it. It's just that at that moment, it's pressure, And when I see my friends giving me that look, that side eye, and then I see people that aren't even my friends, like Mimi, that don't know us, don't know our relationship, but that are looking for something, I was angry. And it came out. And I admit, I took a lot of it out on Eugene, and I think that through marriage counseling is great because we talk about, okay, why do we still have the same triggers that we've had here that we no longer need? You know what I'm saying? I need to feel safe with my husband. And sometimes I don't always feel that way, and I think that.
What does safe look like for you when it comes to him?
A good example, being raised in Detroit, you might have stayed in a house with bars on the window, right? Bars on the front door. That was my scenario. I remember my stepfather always saying it's a man's job to lock each door, make sure the house is on lockdown when it's time to go to bed. I never saw my parents drink in front of me. And I'm talking about my stepfather and my mother, not my father. But just providing an environment where I can be who I need to be because I know he got me. And I guess that's why, even though he's not an alcoholic and he can drink and have a great time, it triggers me because I know that once he gets there, then it's my turn to be that protector. And I don't want to be that. I don't always want
to. You muted, darling. You muted, darling.
Sorry about that, y'all. I'm sorry. I just want to say this. The fact that you had an issue, I get her being from Detroit and all of the things. But for me, when as I'm listening to this and watching this, it's just as simple as this man had a long day. He drove hours and you have to film, not quite him. He has to be on the show, but it's you that they are filming and you want him to step in because you must have went in way over your head and you was feeling a way about what the women were thinking anyway. So it was almost like you took your trauma and you had an issue with him wanting to sit there and enjoy himself. I have a problem with that. I don't know. I could be tripping, but
I felt like this was a way for her to manipulate the situation to make it seem like she wasn't in the wrong at all and to put some of the blame on him too. I feel like that's what she was doing because Eugene didn't look drunk to me in that scene.
no.
And Toya
Nobody
did look drunk
did.
to me in that scene. We have seen Toya drunk on the show many times. And it looked the exact same way this time as it has previous times.
Mhm.
I need her to stop doing that, trying to shift blame and let me put some eggs in your basket because you look good when it comes to the situation on TV. So let me not put eggs in your basket and make you just as responsible for my action as I am, because that's what makes it, equal to us. I feel like that is unfair. And for Eugene just to sit there and just take that, because there's no way he gets worse in this scene. And I feel like at this point, I can't cape for Eugene anymore because you asking exactly for what you're getting. You're asking for.
True. That's true.
Oh,
Cousin, you got any? Oh, you want to go, Miss Bess?
it doesn't matter. It don't matter.
Go ahead.
Do you have any comments on Toya talking about Eugene drinking while I guess she was just basically preparing, doing the scene before they got into it? All of that. She said he was drinking.
Wanted to be about her.
I don't understand. Anyway,
My thing is, what is the reason that you don't want him drinking? Because I see that she's saying, oh, because she don't like that he could tell her that could be a thing. But when you say stuff, you have to be very careful with how you say it.
Mhm.
And I'm like, Toya, does Eugene have a drinking problem? You talking about your past and how you didn't see your parents doing this around you. It doesn't make sense. I understand how you grew up, and when you're an adult, I'm never going to let nobody do this. I'm going to run my mouth. I get that part. I think a lot of Black kids felt that, honestly. But I don't understand the piece of it where she's trying to compare it to how she is today and trauma. I'm like, you didn't tell us of any trauma. And then, girl, barred windows is everywhere. I grew up in a house with barred windows too. We got to do that in DP Stokely. My cousins down in the 9th Ward in New Orleans, they all got barred windows on their houses. Okay?
It's very common.
If you live in the hood, or if you live somewhere that is middle class, you likely gonna see a bar window somewhere. It is what it is. So I'm like, is this supposed to be trauma? Like, I got lost in what she was trying to explain.
Mhm.
I really did. And
Because it doesn't make sense.
Nothing that she said makes sense. I'm like, wait a minute. So y'all kept partying after having an argument. Then she says, me and Eugene, we used to argue in front of our friends and stuff like that. So y'all have been doing this.
Yeah, it's a toxic culture that they have in their relationship.
Obviously, because my thing is, my husband, if we get into an argument, right? I'm a Gemini, he's Sagittarius, so our arguments could be crazy too. But there's been moments we've had to go to events, go to a dinner party, go somewhere, and we may arrive late because we're going to figure this shit out. Because I'm not making nothing for nobody, okay? I'm not passing you no spoon, no napkin, no nothing if we not cool. So we figure it out. I would never put my friends in a situation where I am in a full-blown like argument with my spouse. I feel like that shit that happens pre-24, not when you are 50 and however old he is.
Mhm.
Like the fact that they have the attitude of, yeah, we go to counseling. It's almost like she's saying, me and Eugene go to marriage counseling and we talk with our pastor. So I don't care what anybody else has to say about us because this is what we're doing. And she's missing the message of, you're offensive, you're emasculating an African-American male, you're disrespectful, and now you're kind of alleging as if your husband's drinking is a problem when it can't be because he's at work all the damn time.
Yeah. And that's all I saw was a man coming home from work.
Right.
I mean, he have to be away from the house for however many days. And then when he's driving back or forward, it's however many hours. It's not like it's a 30, 45-minute drive. And all because you didn't want to take lead. What was there to take lead for? This was your party. This was your party.
Then why are you throwing a party when you know your husband's been working and coming home? Because my man finna come home to peace. You can have a party maybe a couple hours after you get settled and stuff, but why do you always have to have parties and always have all these crazy things going on? I'm just looking at Toya like, Toya, you really did not yourself.
She do too much.
Damn.
She do too much. And the problem is I feel like there's a truth that she doesn't want to tell. And I feel that she's using this and Eugene is co-signing it because he wants to stand in front of the bullet for her, which I get. I totally understand it as a man protecting his wife. But at the same time, don't make it seem like it was something that we didn't see. Like don't make it seem like Eugene was, I didn't want him to drink or anything. Eugene looked fine. He was chilling.
Don't want nobody to drink when season after season, this bitch has been proud to carry Patron in her purse.
Guzzling down Patron.
You don't get to say shit.
He wasn't slurring. He wasn't belligerent. He wasn't
very clear.
Yeah, like everybody just was having a good time. Nobody want to play them whack ass games. Son, like, what we doing?
He chilling with his friends. He's having a good time.
They talking, laughing, looking at the candy, the eye candy that you hired. Like,
meanwhile,
the kids relax.
Kids
it's just too much. Like, and if she's not the center, something is not wired right with the lady. And I don't understand. Eugene, call me.
That man is weak. I don't care what nobody says, and no shade to him. Eugene is hurt. He's not cute to me at all. And I feel like he knows that. And James says it all the time. And I agree with my friend on this. Toya is out of Eugene's league. I think he knows it. She knows it, because in a marriage, it should not just always be about one person, and it should not always be one person disrespected the other. Like, everything should be 50-50.
Partnership.
Like, Toya, you can't respect your husband the way that she's behaved. And it's like, now you guys want to do an interview. You should have done an interview. You called his dick little. That's when you should have done an interview.
When Q1 plays this, it gets worse than this part. So keep playing it, Q1. Keep playing it. Yes. No, keep playing it. Because then we can have another discussion.
All right, y'all. Here we go.
Be the strong girl. I feel like I was raised being that. And I want to be soft too. You know, I want my husband. We're working on the trigger words. I said, can you just call me lovey when you want to calm me down? Because I want to be loving. I want to be all the things that he needs. And so we're figuring out where we are 18 years later in our marriage and what we need individually. And can he provide that for me? Absolutely. But I have to be at a place where I can express them, where he can hear me. And so I'm working on me and he's working on him.
And how does it feel for you to hear her say those things?
I mean, we're a work in progress, and I think you're always trying to reinvent yourself to be better. And that's what she's doing. That's what I'm doing. So I mean, I would be disappointed if she was like, "Oh, I'm perfect." It's only your problem. You're the only one that needs to change. That's not what she's saying. She's like, "Hey, yeah, I have triggers, and some of my triggers are because of my parents. Some of my triggers are past relationships. Some of my triggers are the shit you're doing now." But I think recognizing it, I think is the first step of change.
But I think he also has to, and we were figuring this out in our marriage counseling, he has to own the fact too that he can get defensive. And when he gets defensive,
like you just did,
is it going to help him to get his point across to me?
Mm-hmm.
And so there are things now that as a married couple, we're working on, but owning your part in it, owning your things that, I can't worry about so much him owning or telling the world his business. That's his business, but I don't mind because they're paying me, and they're always going to show me in a certain light, and I hate that because I try to change it all the time. Like you'll see toward the end of the season, I just was like, I have to stop giving it to him. I can't blame production for anything because I give them these moments. And so if I got to figure out a way to still make good TV, but do it in a way that makes me proud, my pastor's wife proud, my husband proud, and God proud.
Right, but I do think that starts with you,
yes.
right? And I hear you loud and clear when you say, and I never knew that. You were a little girl, right? Who did not have a voice in her own household, right? And as you got out, you sort of like broke free.
Yeah.
From a spiritual standpoint, a physical standpoint, an emotional standpoint, you were free. It reminds me of when I left Detroit at 22, and I was the lab. I was in the closet with this voice and this mannerism.
Wow.
Don't blame me. Anyway, my point is that, shut up, Toya.
I believe it though. Detroit was in the closet for a long time.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
But my point is, I grew up in a household where I could not be my full self.
Mm-hmm.
So when I left Detroit, I moved to New York City.
Ooh.
And baby, I became everything I came to be. And when I came back home a year later, I had 2 earrings, right?
Oh, that was another.
And my father said to me, "That's it, right?"
Uh-huh.
And I said, "Mm-hmm." But my point was, I understand what you're going through in terms of like you're expressive because you weren't able to do that.
Yeah.
But I do think this though, if I can give you some advice, as my sister, I do think this. I think you said something that I was going to say to you too. And I'm glad you said it because it shows me you're growing. You're repeating the same cycle over and over again, and you have to tell yourself, how are you able to manage your reaction to things? Because you are very expressive and he isn't, right? And his expression was very different than yours. And the one thing I want to talk to you about.
Was it though? Because he did say, what the fuck? And all
I was like, say what? Well, I do. Again, I'm a viewer, but I think I can speak on behalf of America. And I say this with love. Toya, we all felt it's about fucking time.
For Eugene Stempa.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, okay.
We were like, finally, because and please stop me if I got this all wrong.
Mhm.
When we look at this man, there's a lot of women who want your husband.
Mhm.
And I'm pretty sure you know that.
Yes.
And you know that.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. I don't know if you read DMs. I hope you don't. Because one of the reasons why King told the world they broke up is because girls were flirting with him in the comments, knowing that at least they thought he was with Quad. But my point is, these girls don't care if you got a woman or not. They're going to flirt with you.
Yeah.
There's a lot of women who want your man because they look at this very successful black man who, not spiritually, but he worships the ground you walk on. You are his dream girl. And you live a very soft life to us.
I was supposed to say
To us. And I'm going to say why. Because this man works to the bone to make sure that Toya Bush Harris is happy. And I do think that it looks differently for you. So what we're seeing as the audience is, and when I say this, I'm saying this with kindness. We look at you like this ungrateful bitch.
Mhm.
Do you know how many women, amen, want your man, will love a Eugene to have in their life? And we do feel like you take him for granted.
Yeah.
And when he buckled back on you, we, a lot of girls got turned on because, they were like, hey, Eugene, but they also felt like it's about damn time.
They don't know what's up.
She deserves you to buck up on her. But I do you get what I'm saying, right?
Yes, I'm not interrupting.
No, I forget it.
I'm receiving.
Yes, but I do want to ask you this. Were you ever able to move past the comments your wife made about your penis?
Okay. I still don't think she made a comment about my penis.
Correct.
Okay, before we get into the whole PP comment, sorry, James, I was looking at your face. As we're the whole, first of all, Carlos, I agree with Shani. Don't call me the B word. Like, that's what we not doing. I mean, not Shani, Miss Kira. I'm so sorry, Miss Kira. Don't call me the B word. Him telling Toya, everybody was, you're lucky to have a Eugene and yada, yada, yada. I mean, I get what he's saying, but it's like, for some reason, I feel like he's saying that for him, if that makes sense.
Yes.
Okay.
No, that makes 100% of sense because he is saying that for him. I don't want a Eugene. I don't want a Eugene. Carlos is not speaking for me. I don't want a man who is sitting there letting me just run amok up in the palace and not correcting me and just putting a Band-Aid over it by going to get 2 and 3 jobs to take care of me while I sit on my ass. I don't want that. I want somebody who's going to motivate me to be better. I want somebody who's going to tell me, hey, James, you're wrong. Like, that's what I want because I realize it's like, it's not about him going out of his way to make you happy. It's about him learning from you, learning from him, learning to do things together and just kind of be in tune. What we're seeing here is a woman who's doing whatever she wants at any cost that she wants, and him not speaking up when he needs to, even when it's directed at him. And I say it gets worse than where we're at. So yes, but that's how it gets even worse.
I don't know. I feel like Carlos King, I don't like that he was saying that. You could have just told her she was ungrateful. I feel like he just wanted to tell her she looked like a bitch. I'm going to say what I say. Gay men, you are still fucking men. Do not get too fucking comfortable because you will get popped in the mouth. Do not be calling women bitches. Do not be calling women hoes. Do not be cussing women out. Do not do it. Remember who gave you life. That's all I'm going to say. It irks me that Carlos was so comfortable with that. And to add to James's point, I agree. You a weak ass simp nigga, Eugene, because I don't know not a damn man that is married and will sit there and allow Carlos to speak for him. Eugene should have interrupted and been like, I understand and I see how people feel. And I hear that and I receive that. But like I just said, we're a work in progress. But instead, he sat his behind wide booty having ass there quietly, not defending his wife, not defending himself, not defending his dick, just not defending nothing. Just sitting there, probably still hearing the ER beeps and seeing BPs and hyaluronic acid and hypoglycemia, you name it. He having flashbacks from work. Because why are you sitting there while this man, or maybe he wanted Toya to hear, like, see, I told you other people want me.
It could be, but still, there's time and place for that. There's time and place for, if that's true, there is time and place for that. This is not the forum for that. For me to be sitting there watching this man grill you and rip you up a new one in front of me, and I'm not. That's not the form. Now, if we get home and we rewatching this back and be like, yeah, you see, now I told you, yes, this is what could happen. That's different because it's beyond, because we're in our safety foundation. This is not their safety foundation. So that's where this is different. But yeah, this gets a whole lot worse. And I don't know if you want to talk about the penis. Are we waiting for Eugene's response first before we talk about that?
We can go ahead and move forward. We'll just go because it's right after this, right?
Yeah, it's literally
Okay, so we'll listen to the penis situation, but just wanted to ask Courtney if you had anything.
Oh no, we can continue.
Okay.
That part.
It was literal.
Right. It was a figurative thing.
I'm sorry, y'all. It's like
They ran with it. The other ladies, yes, Quad ran with it. Heaven ran with it. You know, but
even today when they bring it up and not cut you off. But the reason why I'm asking you that is because this season, in your frustration with her, y'all had a one-on-one scene, and in your frustration with her, you brought it up again. Like they're saying this about me. So that's all I ask you.
It's because it's an ongoing issue. Like even though that was several years ago that this comment was made, the same day of the party, the pool party, I'm in text messages talking about, hey, yeah, your husband's dick is little and mine ain't. You know, like, okay, what's that got to do with you leaving a fake person at the party? Like, that's you leave y'all text as girl text. Yeah, leave me out of it. Now that I'm in it, like, hey, quit talking about me. You know.
Oh my God, y'all! I'm sorry.
I was like,
no, that happened. It's StreamYard. It's not YouTube.
Is it hard for you to get past that because it's something that you feel like any man, as a man, I just wouldn't want that to constantly be brought up.
It's an annoyance. Yeah. I'm over it. Okay. You know, but when you keep bringing it up, it's research. Like, had it not ever came up again, I'd be like, okay, well, that was some stupid stuff. Like Quad said, she was gonna give me a dress. I haven't brought it up ever again because she ain't saying it no more. But when you keep saying something,
but do you blame her for it? No. Do you feel like he forgave you for that?
I feel like our counselor said, how do you deal with the stresses of your life, your show, your job, social media? We haven't figured it out yet. I think that Eugene wants to believe that he's over it, but I prayed for a man that was sensitive to me and not with anybody else. And so the part that I know, and in being with him for almost 20 years now, his feelings are hurt. He has always looked at himself as being a good guy, especially to women. And to be attacked by women is hard for him because you're not allowed to go off on a woman. You know what I mean? Which is what concerned me a little bit because when people say things like, well, it's about time. I was like, wow, what a double standard. Because God forbid the world be okay with a man bucking up on a woman at any time. Mm-hmm. Because the reality is in a relationship, if I'm acting a fool, you don't meet me foolishly.
Right.
Okay. You set the tone of the way you want it to go. And so had Eugene met me with, baby, let's go talk in the back. You know, something ain't right with you right now.
He did try to come at you and nestle your hip. When we came in the kitchen.
Yeah.
No, it was World War III.
No. I'm talking about before. I watched the show before.
You watched it. Was that the edit?
I'm talking before the escalation. When you made the comment, well, can you get up? Something along those lines. And you went in the house. And he was like, let me get up. And you got up and you walked to her. You said, hey.
What the fuck?
Yeah, I was.
He said, hey, what the fuck?
Yeah, we was both on 10 by then.
Right. What the fuck was
that?
They
showed something a little different.
No, that's it. You better go back.
But also,
let's be clear. Let's be clear. Even though that happened, okay, I stole the show. Well, what happened before that?
Yes.
And so
correct.
you may not have even seen that because you saw me not doing Proverbs 31.
And that's fair.
Period.
No, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair.
The real.
I actually listen because I'm not a producer in this moment. I'm a viewer, and I actually receive it. Yeah. I can actually receive that as a viewer. I was so put off by the way you spoke to him that I missed anything he did. And listen, maybe subconsciously, me and the viewers, were like, whatever he did,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter because of you. And now I understand why. Oh my gosh, I have an aha moment too.
Yeah.
I now understand why it's very difficult for you to be yourself on the show because you do feel like, yes, I'm giving the world my real life, but I also understand as an outspoken Black woman, talking an octave higher than most to her husband, I lost the audience on my side.
Yeah,
I receive that.
Yeah,
I actually receive it.
And I respect my audience. I do. I love the love I get. I look on social media at comments and I'm just looking for somebody to say, you did that, and I shouldn't because when they don't say it, I'm like,
right.
But I don't want to let my fans down either. I know that I was put on this show for a reason.
Can we pause here?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay. Can we talk about that? We can talk about the comment, how it derived, where it started from, why people feel like it's okay for them to say that about him. we can talk about. She just didn't take accountability while outing him.
Yes, because here's the thing, and this is what pisses me off with Eugene. Because Toya was asked specifically, what is one thing about your husband that you're mad you could not change? And she said that his penis couldn't get bigger. That was not figuratively, first off. Let's be clear. That was specific to your husband. Eugene, that was specific to you. That was not no figurative speech. Nice try. But most of us watched that season and was mad at that she even said that in that fucking scene. So for you to sit up there as a grown-ass man and say, oh no, it was a figurative, she never did that. No, you're copping out. That's why she looked at you like she did. Because you know that wasn't true. You know that wasn't true. And no, you're not over it. And that's why, and once again, you can't get mad at Heavenly for bringing that shit up because she gave her the gun to shoot you with it. So that's what pissed me off about Eugene, because it's like, dude, I get protect your wife, defend her. Yes, yes, and yes. But Carlos asked him a direct question instead of saying, yeah, I was angry that she said that, because that's our personal business. I don't think that that's for a group of women and the world to know about me or to know about our personal, bedroom marital affairs. That has nothing to do with the world. So that's why I got mad at him, because I'm like, dude, like, you keep copping to this woman, and this is why she gets the way she gets, because she doesn't know her place or have boundaries with you.
But him saying that, he probably think that's almost me admitting to what Toya has said about my body parts. And I don't want to admit to that.
Well, here's the thing. I understand that logic. I do. But at the same time, regardless if he admits it or if there is no truth to it, she still said it. So regardless of what, he doesn't have to admit it. She already said it. So in our minds, it's already made up of what we think of the situation. It's already made up. So it's already an embarrassment. It doesn't matter if he cops to it or not. It's already out there. So I get that sentiment, but no, it's like, she said it. The world believes her because that's your wife. What reason would they not have to believe that?
Yeah.
So yeah.
And for her to say something about protecting, being kind to me, but not the people outside of me. And I'm like, girl, what?
Toya just says stuff to say stuff. I don't think they're gonna make it in the end. I don't know why. I've always kind of felt that way. If Eugene ever grows a backbone, and if he really takes the time and does the work on himself in therapy, I don't think they'll be together when the baby is out of the house. I really don't. Because the thing with therapy, if you actually do the work and you actually take therapy seriously, you will start to change, and you'll start to change, and others will notice it before you notice it yourself. And when you change, you start to put up and tolerate less BS. Because in terms of like being in a relationship of any sort, Toya is basically trying to say, you guys didn't see how he responded to me. And so that's why nobody was on my side. We're not on your side because you went to your man talking to him crazy. He was talking out the side of your neck from the jump. Now you're trying to say things were happening out of order, which is true, but these things still happen. And then you're saying, well, even if I go off, basically, what she's saying, even if I go off on my man and disrespect my man, I still expect him to respond to me in a gentle, soft, and loving way. That's unrealistic as fuck, bitch. Okay, it's unrealistic. If I go cuss my husband out right now and be like, I told your motherfucking ass to take out this goddamn, I'm sick of you. Trust and believe, he gonna look at me and be like, hey, who the fuck are you talking to? Like, and I can't get mad at him for responding to me like that.
Right.
If you come at somebody crazy and they come back at you crazy, you can't get mad. But it's crazy that Toya acts that way with her friends, because that's really her problem with Heavenly. That's really her problem with everybody she's had a problem with on the show. But when that shit carries over into your relationship and your marriage, that means being problematic and chaotic, shout out to Dr. Mimi, is a part of your being. Understand why she came on this interview trying to gaslight people. I'm surprised I'm not seeing online more that she was gaslighting people.
Because people like her and they don't.
Yeah.
They're
And
hearing
they don't like Dr. Heavenly.
right.
Let me tell you, I say this all the time. People's hate and bias against Dr. Heavenly will be the very thing that kills this show.
Yep.
Also, y'all niggas don't know her. We don't know any of these people. But
Right.
if you hate Dr. Heavenly, you got to hate all of the others. You cannot hate Dr. Heavenly and not dislike, I would say, Toya and Simone, because they are all three one and the same.
Yep,
Yes,
absolutely.
exactly.
Anyway, y'all, let's just keep going. It's we almost done, y'all.
Reason. And it wasn't to make up bad fake storylines. It wasn't to, gloat. It wasn't to do any of that. It was to show a loving marriage with a real mother raising two boys. And the world needed to see it. I've always asked before the show started to be in like the Cosby Show and like the, different worlds back in the day, because that's what gave me hope. And so I really, truly want to represent that. But because I'm not scripted,
and now I'm back to being producer. I don't want you to represent that.
Yeah.
I want you to represent yourself, right? And I think this interview was doing a great job at showing the complexities of you, because you're not one note. And that's okay. A lot of people aren't, right? Yeah. You have been in a relationship with this man, married, for 18 years, right? And that. First of all, that should be applauded. And secondly, it's difficult to also show that on television. And the thing about you, Dr. Eugene, that I've always wanted to ask you is, listen, when Toya enters the room, your eyes light up, right? And you obviously, maybe it does. But I want to ask you this. I didn't get a chance to ask you this fully in our last conversation. What do you see in Toya that you wish the world knew?
She is a very complete woman to me. I think she's attractive. She's smart. She's very caring. I think she's a wonderful friend. She's a great mother. I on paper, this is who you want to marry. Now, I also, because the way I grew up, I've got a couple extra things that I like that some men don't like. I like outspoken. I like a little feisty. I don't like women who are just one note. I don't want her to not give me pushback if she sees crap.
He dated somebody like that.
Now, sometimes I think she can go overboard, but I'm okay with that because I understand the total person. But I like some of this stuff. Now, our counsel would be like, yeah, well, sometimes when it's something that you don't like, how do you respond? He's like, okay, yeah, that's the problem.
Well, what he said was, you got what you asked for. Now you want to complain about it.
Right.
Well, that's the thing. The reason why this makes sense to me is because in every relationship, this is my opinion. Number one, I want to say, as long as your partner has 80% of what you want, you hit the lottery. You really have.
Because you're not trying to build him up.
But not only that. Listen, we live in a world where we know that nothing's perfect. And I do think the problems that you two have, I believe it is 20%, but it's 20% compounded because it's extreme. And I'm going to say this, and you guys have to say it. I strongly believe if you two weren't on reality television, the 20% of your problems would not be as heightened as it is. No. I think that's fair to say.
Honestly, the pool party, I already told her, had we not been on television, had this just been a regular day, we were having a pool party. One, we wouldn't have invited people to our house. Some of these people wouldn't have been invited. So we would have already been in a more safe space to be our full selves. If this was not on TV, we would have had a wonderful time. And had she said those exact same words, well, one, I don't even think she would have said it that way. Because
I said, come on, bleed the dudes. What are you doing?
Right. I would have looked at it in a totally different light. Not you playing me, because the only reason I thought she was playing me was because a couple people who were there. Had it just been our friends, we joined on each other all the time. Like, it wouldn't have been a thing. So, take it for what it's worth, but I think the show does change how you react sometimes.
Oh, for sure. And listen, I want to have some clarity. It has nothing to do with being fake or acting. It just has, listen, this camera's in front of me and the red light is on, right? Y'all know me off camera, and I have a big personality. But when this is on, there's a heightened version of me. You know what I mean? And we're not going to be talking like this at Houston,
right?
Eating Hawaiian steak.
Not at
all. You know
what I'm saying? But
there's a that's true. But there's a heightened version of it. There are people though, Toya, that I do want to have you address this. We all know that, like he even said 5 minutes ago on paper, he pretty much scripted his dream girl, and you came to life. You did mention earlier that God had to tell you, like, no, this is your guy. Was it hard or challenging for you to welcome that Eugene was your guy? Were you looking for something different? Is he your type?
So people say all the time, they're like, I want her vision board and whatever list that she wrote for a man. So someone told me years ago, write down all the things you need in your husband. And then I was girl, I need to write it down. She said, write it down. So I wrote down my list, and she's like, don't be petty. So I never wrote on there that he had to be attractive. I thought those were little petty small things. I wrote that he had to be trustworthy because I had trust issues. I wrote that he had to be a provider. And at the time I was making like 50 grand. I said, he at least make 100. I wrote that he had to be a good father and that he could give me twins. No, it was a very specific list.
Good.
And I wrote that he had to be sensitive with me but strong to other people, and I wanted him to be consistent. And so there was all these things on this list. I should have brought it. And yes, it's in my Bible. And so when God told me he was for me, the reason why he had to tell me is because I also made a deal with God. And I think that was bad. I said, if I'm not married by 30, can you take away the urge? Because I'm okay with being single. And at that time, I even wanted to write a book. It was going to be called Maximizing My Singleness, because I felt like I was content. I had went through so much growing up as a child that I just was like, I'm happy. I'm at peace. I had my space. I had a great job. I was working for, at the time, Pfizer, Novartis. I was doing my thing. And I didn't want to look like I had missed something. And honestly, coming from Detroit, I was not in a hurry to get married anyway. I was like, nobody's happy. There wasn't any. It's crazy how in Atlanta we have so many married couples that we hang out with. In Detroit, do you know one that we can hang out with?
Oh, in Detroit? Maybe not.
Right. Like, it's very difficult. And I just.
Oh, your cousin Tony.
My cousin Tony. And your friend. And the guy that used to go to school.
Tom.
So we know too.
But that wasn't something you saw reflected
It was
in your
not.
everyday life.
No, marriage was not a thing that I was excited about doing. I could care less about it at that time. And so when he came around, Eugene was adamant. He was like, I'm gonna get this girl. And he did everything. And I did everything to chase him away.
Were you not attracted to him when y'all first met?
Yeah, I was attracted to him, yeah. But I wasn't having sex with him. I was like, I literally had told him, at that time I had went through this whole process of changing Toya. I wasn't drinking, I was saved, I wasn't having sex right away. So I was like, I'm not gonna rush into that with you. I just want to get to know you. And it wasn't until somebody broke in my car and took my computer. And at the time I was going back to school for my master's. And he was like, I'm gonna give you the key to my house. And you can use my computer anytime. Baby. He did everything
I got the quiet game.
right. Honey, you got game. Honey, that game right there.
No, the thing is this.
That game right there.
No, the thing is this. I hope you realize.
Oh, absolutely.
And I'm going to disagree with you.
Okay.
I think it's a beautiful thing that you made a deal with God.
Oh, okay.
Because I made a deal with God about something and it came true.
Okay.
I know what it feels like to say, if it's not meant for me, give me something else.
Yeah.
And even career-wise, I remember wanting this life that I live right now so badly that I was like, because I thought I'd be something at 22 child.
Okay.
And I'm like, God, I'm 22 and I'm not where I need to be. And I said, I have this urge and if it's not meant to be, take it away from me. Like, just take it away.
Yes.
I'll do whatever you want me to do.
Yeah.
Right? So the fact that God brought you Eugene.
At 30.
At 30. That's my point.
Isn't that the crazy? At 30.
And God knew your stubborn self.
Yes. Had it been 31, I'd say, you're not for me.
But you know God. I hope you know this. That robbery was God ordained.
Yes.
Because it took that moment for you to realize I could be missing something so great that I'm too busy trying to, make sure that everything's whatever.
Checking the box.
But my point in saying all of that to you is this. 18 years later, he is still that guy that will give you the key to many houses to make sure that you have something to look at.
And tell me, you figured it out, I'm coming with you.
Yes.
What vacation we going on, Toya? I want to go wherever you want to go.
Yeah.
What car you need, Toya? Go get it. I'm good. Your boy's good. What they need, you can handle it. I'm not worried about the house because you got it. That's him. Yeah. So I recognize that I have a very good blessing in Eugene, and I'm grateful for that. And that's the only reason why I have such a conviction when I do wrong by him. Because God giveth, but he take away.
Yeah.
And I know that's not what he wants. And I know that sometimes I can be self-destructive. And I receive that, and I'm trying not to be that way at 50. I'm about to be 50. Girl, like I can't keep doing that. There's no chaos here, as the other people like to say. But the people that don't know me would love to call it that. The people that know and love us will say things like Simone said, this is the couple I would love to be. I need a man that's going to uplift and support, and a woman that he feels so safe that he doesn't even blink twice.
Do y'all want to stop at this point or let it? You muted, James.
We can stop at this point.
We got like 10 minutes in the video.
Yeah. Because this is the last thing I'm gonna say about these two. I just feel like once again, I think there is a bit of confusion on certain trigger words for them, and I feel like there is such thing as like informal gaslighting that they are doing to the public. That I feel like, because once she's contradicting herself in a lot of the things that she is saying, she just said that in her list he doesn't have to be attractive, and yet said that she,
yeah,
and saying that he was fine and everything. So you just said it, and then he asked you again, were you attracted? Yeah, I was attracted because that was you cleaning it up. Toya, stop. Toya, stop. Charles fed you that bone and you got it and you took it, but we're not, the viewers aren't stupid. Y'all are not stupid. Y'all know what she is doing here. And it's like Shani said, was that a setup because you knew how to get him? Yes. Yeah. That's what I feel it is. But she's trying to clean it up. And that's just, it is what it is. Hi, Naya.
Hey, Naya.
Basically, she just confirmed that she doesn't make good choices and she a gold digger. That's what I heard. Just because you have it on your own don't mean you can't still try to find a nigga to come up off of. Because if he didn't offer you that computer, would you have called him back? That's all I want to know.
That's a good point, because I didn't today. Because
she didn't list one thing about Eugene that she loves or likes about her partner outside of what he can provide for her.
Material, yep.
And that's not. And then on top of that, I heard basically you a spoiled ass brat. You don't get to hear no ever, and when you do hear no, you act an absolute fool.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been with my spouse just as long as these two. Like, the way we communicate today is much better and much calmer than the way we communicated when I was 19 and he was 21. So I feel like these two still communicate like they are younger. And it sounds like, I don't like that she's using God throughout this entire interview to deflect, manipulate, gaslight, and bullshit us.
Cringy.
It's making my teeth itch in the worst ways. Like, I don't like when people do that. Own your shit. Say you trying to be better, but don't say to us that God called you to your husband and that he came at the right time because he let you use a computer because your dumb ass left your shit in the car. Don't do that. Don't do that, Toya. So I don't know. This interview, child.
And if you felt like he was so heaven sent, why you don't talk to him like he a guy? Like, why are you so disrespectful? Child, leave us, please.
You know, it's funny. Most black men too would never. The
That's
way
the ones I know.
knows that, and she knows that no nigga would let her get away.
Yeah, she knows
what she get away with. It's crazy. And most women that are like strongly offended, like I feel like I'm pretty opinionated. I have a lethal fucking mouth. I can't be with no weak man. You got to be able to tell me. You got to be able to tell me to shut the fuck up from time to time. You just do. And I feel like Toya needs that, and Eugene, instead of telling her to shut the fuck up and cook her a steak.
Oh, Miss Kira, I agree. Did he say what attracted her to him other than the fact that she knew he was gonna be? Oh,
look how defeated he looked at this pause still.
That's how he been looking the whole time.
Yes, like a little sick kid.
She got her hand on his
Listen, y'all, he's tired. He had to drive 2 hours.
Yeah.
To get home, and then got to come up and hear this foolishness of Toya running her mouth and sitting up here gaslighting everybody with this bullshit that she trying to get everybody to buy.
In that hot ass suit, in that hot ass coat.
Right.
He looked like my little brother in the still when my mama came up to the school and acted a fool. Like, I just sit here. I can't stop her. I can't do nothing. Oh,
Toya, I'm telling you, Toya looking like she finna rob and giving us some from Boomerang. Like, seriously, I'm just done.
Yo, this the last part, and then we can end it out with this last part.
Yes.
Good job. All right, here we go.
I'm just a work in progress.
And that's fair. But to me, that's the beauty of life, right? Is I don't want to live a life where I'm stagnant because I know everything. You know what I mean? I receive. So God knows some things. I'm like, God, I didn't need that lesson, but I got you, bro. But my point is, you should be honored that, number one, you get to live a life where you're constantly learning and growing.
Yes.
And you two are soulmates. You guys really are. You guys really are. Yeah. And I don't want anything to disrupt this union that is God ordained. Because there's people who talk about the Sierra prayer, but we all want the Toya prayer.
Amen.
And we want the Eugene sketch.
Okay.
So my last question is this. When it comes to marriage, there's tons of people, Dr. Eugene and Toya, who are disconnected. And, there's people, I'm sure you know tons of them, who use the D word, divorce. We've seen, and I tell the world this all the time, my favorite scene in the history of the show is when all y'all rally behind Simone and Cecil to say, no, we're going to fix this. But what advice do you give couples who feel like we've been together for X amount of years and, do we throw in the towel?
I think you just have to every day choose your partner. I mean, there's gonna be hard days. I mean, that's just the reality of it. Like, it would be, I guess, some utopia if we never had an argument, but that's just not realistic. Like even best of friends get in arguments. So if you're gonna be with somebody for the long term, it's gonna be external factors that come in. It's gonna mess y'all up. It's gonna be internal stuff mess you up. Your past, all kind of stuff. But as long as you each day choose, like I'm choosing her, and then you work through those issues. Like you just gotta keep choosing.
I think for me, the first question I would ask is, do you still love each other?
Not like them. Love.
Right. And, because if you are still in love with someone, then you can take the next step, which is learning to respect that person again. And I think sometimes when we get in relationships, we get so comfortable with each other that we don't even realize that we're disrespecting each other and that we're not uplifting each other in the way we need, or I'm not speaking to the man I need him to be. I'm speaking to that other person that I'm dealing with on the outside.
Can I interject one thing? Yeah. This is the protector of me, like protecting my wife. I just hate this notion that Toya's just doing something to Eugene all the time. Like I didn't comment earlier. It was like, well, good thing he stood up for himself this time. Like, well, do I not push back on a lot of stuff? Well, like
You have to tell the world. That.
There are days I'm not the easiest person to get along with. I know that, but some of my pushing buttons isn't so much in an aggressive way. Sometimes it's not hearing her. I know not hearing her is
aggressive.
It can be.
Slam doors.
Oh yeah,
you have tantrums.
I'll slam the door before.
Yeah.
You do? Oh yeah, slam the door.
He will yell throughout the house. Yes.
No, in my opinion,
yeah, I'm like, and I never saw my parents argue, so I'm like,
once it gets going, what's your sign?
Yeah,
Sagittarius. We're both fire signs.
Yes, and so once he is lit, Eugene, I'm like, stop texting me.
Look, if I think I've been wrong, I'm going to keep explaining and defending where I'm right.
Yes.
Over and over. So I get it. But nobody sees
and
that.
God forbid me tell this doctor, he's wrong in some way when every day he goes to work and he's right.
Yeah, no, that's not true. That's okay. You can say that.
Well, I would say right. I think every day he goes to work, he's on a mission to get the answer.
Yeah. And the reality is this, though. Yeah. This is the part he's really leaving out. And I really want, and I talked to Carlos about it. And he said, well, can you talk about that?
Yeah.
And I said, yes, talk about pellets and be honest.
Like which part?
How men.
No, all right, you about to say. All right.
Right, because you know the word I'm going to use.
I think men and women, once you hit about 35, 40, are testosterone deficient. Testosterone, actually, a lot of people think testosterone is this aggressive hormone. It actually makes people nicer. It calms people down. And I think the divorce rate in this country, probably is so high in people's late 40s, early 50s, is because you have hormone deficiencies that you don't realize, and you're thinking that every problem is your spouse, they're thinking every problem is you, and y'all go your separate ways. I think I'm a much happier person when my testosterone level is appropriate.
And so from your own experience, he didn't know that he had a hormone imbalance. Mm-hmm. I think I started realizing it when we had this one scene a couple of seasons ago, and I asked him, how can we make you happy? What are your hobbies? And he's like, I don't know. And he really started realizing that he was just there. Like he wasn't his happy-go-lucky fun self anymore. He had no energy to do anything. And then when he discovered this whole testosterone imbalance and finally went to the doctor, they started trying different things on him, like they would do with a woman who was going through menopause. And it's some imbalances that happen. Just like with Quad and King, he said when she was getting a shot, your hormones be raging. Mm-hmm. And so I was dealing with a lot of hormones with my husband.
Or the lack thereof.
All of that. Yeah. And so for years, when people were like, well, she doesn't want to be married, it was because I couldn't understand who this person was. And I was like, does he want to be married? Like we both were like, how do we fix this? Like what's wrong? And so now that my husband has this amazing clinic, Recharge Wellness, he is literally educating men and helping them to get to that place, because he even said that he thinks that his parents would have still been in a happy place had his father known. And like I said, I don't want to tell your story.
No, but that's big. And that's part of your wellness. So how can people reach out to you to gain information and stuff from that?
So if you go to www.rechargewellnesshealth, you can have a lot of information there. That's where you can make appointments. I'm a concierge service, so I only take a certain amount of people. But if you make an appointment, there'll be like a 30-minute time slot where we get on the phone and we figure out what we need to do.
I mean, look how different he is. His weight loss is down.
No,
his man looks good.
It's between him and Steve.
There is no competition. My man don't have to put on no.
So y'all, this is basically the end of the interview.
Thank you, because I couldn't listen to another second of this.
You're shaming this man.
Please stop praising Eugene's weight loss when he still look big. Please. He do. He was small a couple seasons back. He did lose all of that weight, and I respect him for it. But he has gained it back. Toya, you cannot make up for calling your man's dick little publicly by now suddenly calling him fine. Like, it does not work that way. And then they tried to use his education to manipulate y'all into thinking their marital problems was from hormone imbalances.
Nice try. They didn't fool me with that one. That was a good try.
Andy and her husband arguing over her thyroid. Like, what?
I'm sorry.
Real quick, shout out to the chat, y'all been showing out for other content creators have been in here. So at Beloved Reviews, shout out to Mrs. Kira Speaks, Mrs. Best, Mrs. Best, James, myself, Naya. That means you need to get your own channel. You need to start your channel, okay? And Shayna. So you guys, please follow their channels. Appreciate the comments and all of the things. I just wanted to take that mini commercial break and tell y'all thank y'all so much. We're back.
We're back. Yes. Come on, plug. No, here's the thing. I just feel like when it comes to Toya blaming Eugene for his outburst that we never see, talking about he slammed doors, y'all have to understand once again, and I'm going to say this very loud and clear, this man has to drive 2 hours to work, 2 hours back home, 5 hours to another job, then 5 hours back home. This man is tired after working 12-hour days, And I'm sure with between the two hospitals, it's probably 10 shifts each. So imagine having to do all that, then got to come home to see Toya up there on the couch laying on her ass drinking wine. I would be frustrated too. I'm sorry. I would be frustrated as well. Because I'm waiting to come home and I want stuff to be done. And maybe I'm erratic. But to say it's a hormone imbalance versus exhaustion from a regular day at work and she want to talk about whatever she want to talk about, I'm sorry, there's more to them stories than Toya's. Like, I'm sorry, dealing with her, there's more to them stories. I am sure.
Their marriage is fractured. Because if you really saw some shit, she said no, because you do be slamming doors. I said, not y'all doing the shit that you talked about working on while you in the damn interview, and Eugene just sit there while she's touching him. I said, yeah, that man don't like you, but he gonna stay with you because I think he knows it's about as good as it gets. And I do feel like Eugene might be a little difficult to deal with, but I think that's to be expected when you have a spouse that is driving 24 hours a day and working 12 to 14-hour shifts or longer if you're an ER physician. So
they gotta come home and hear that damn loud ass laughing.
Right.
I'm sorry, I just had to try to laugh like
Wow. That's gonna get on my nerves.
I love it.
When she was saying that she wants her husband to love, we want people to love us, but first I want you to like me. I want you to look up 19 years later still liking me. That's most important.
Yes.
If you don't like me, you're gonna treat me like you don't like me, no matter how much love is there. So like me first. And I don't think he like her anymore.
No, especially they told on themselves. If she's reading the comments, trust and believe he reading the comments.
Yes.
Yes.
They probably reading the comments and it look like they looking for comments in their favor. And if you Eugene and you see comments in your favor, it's uplifting because it's saying you strong, you black, you powerful, we respect you. And somebody is offering to spread it low and bust it wide while shutting the fuck up and staying away.
And her problem is she care about what other people think too much. That's her downfall.
That's why she's so loud. The loudest
people
give the hugest fuck about how everybody feel about them.
The most flashy. And you ain't like, it's okay to be quiet. And it's okay.
Right. Yep. That part, Miss Kira Bravo does not, because I'm sure Eugene was cussing her out from her rooter to her tutor in that scene this season. But it seemed like producers were more concerned with showing Toya because, as Toya said, the men on this show aren't paid. So, of course, they're going to follow and show you over him. But why would we expect for Eugene not to be cussing you out back the way you talk to him? You lucky he ain't going upside your head, heifer. Because I believe there's a thing in provoking men, and Toya seems like the type of broad that will provoke people and take them too far.
Yes.
She just does. And I'm not saying
I was saying that. How are you so, how is it okay for you to be provoking everybody in every scene? But when somebody tell you something back, or you're offended when your husband snap back at you, when you've literally just been going and going and going, and you always do that to him. But you mad when he react?
And I do think that Eugene is more of a reaction person. I just don't think Eugene is like, hey, yo, bitch. Like, I don't think Eugene is like that. I think Eugene is more reactionary, and Eugene seemed like one of those people. And again, I don't know him from a can of paint, but he could be one of those people that it take a lot to get him there. And when he's there, you know, he seems as though he has control over his emotions. Because yes, Toya, you have been silenced a long time, but ma'am, those throat chakras, all of that shit came out. You are still acting like the child, Arrested Development. You're still acting like that child that is not being heard. Like everything she does is loud. Everything.
That backyard scene gave me everything I needed to know about how fights happen in their house. I believe it happens exactly like that. Yeah. I could believe that, you know, he's sitting down, relaxing. Eugene, you gotta cook us dinner now. Why are you just sitting there? You know we gotta eat, Eugene. I can see all of that. I can see it.
How the fuck is she a housewife and the bitch don't cook?
Right.
My man is driving their car to provide me with something. I don't care if he know how to cook. I'm gonna have you dinner, appetizer, dessert, beverage, all of that.
Order out.
Right. He come home and probably just see a trash can full of Patron bottles.
So I'm sorry.
And that's another thing too. I'm sorry. That's another thing too. You treat him like that. Like he go to work full time. And he still got to come home and he has responsibilities too. And I get it, being balanced, but look, this man worked hard. I would be aggravated too. I ain't gonna lie.
No, yeah, that backyard scene showed me exactly how they fight. Because that's exactly how. If I'm supposed to believe that Toya is sober in that moment, let me believe that for just a second. I'm believing that Toya is sober for that moment. Eugene is sitting there having a drink. So you mean to tell me in your sober moment, you bending down over in his face and saying, Eugene, get up off that thing and leave the man, and just holler to the top of your lungs. So I'm supposed to believe, fine, I'm gonna believe that, but I believe that that's how y'all fight.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I believe that's how it happens. I believe he ain't doing shit but sitting down watching TV, and here you come bending down and hear his face talking about Eugene. Like, I believe it happens exactly like that, then, Toya. You're right.
And
so
which one is it? With this interview, because you just revealed to us that he was coming home from work.
Yes.
So I expect a man coming home from work. When you work in certain fields, I feel like you can be burnt out from just people, your mind not fully right, especially if you have a mentally demanding job where you in someone's face all day, which he do. Girl, you ruined yourself in this interview, Toya, because now everybody looking at it like, oh, so you're trying to say he came back at you and was disrespectful, but you forgot to tell everybody about the part of your man just got off work and you threw a big ass party, didn't find a space for him to decompress or nothing, and then proceeded to go off on him for not wanting to lead the men in a party that was your event.
And then months later, expose the fact that you didn't want him to drink because of your personal feeling of him leading. So that means the responsibility then had to be put on you. See, Toya, you not shit. At the end of the day, you not shit for that, because that's crazy as hell.
My husband, when I've thrown events and things of that nature, his little guy friends and all of that, they come. And here's what I will do if I'm at an event with men. Y'all good? The food is here. The fridge is here. The toilet is here. The entertainment is there. Don't smoke in my house. Goodbye. You leave men alone, as quiet as kept. Let them be. Men know how to entertain themselves the same way women know how to entertain themselves. Yeah. But entertaining, Toya, there's food. There's a pool. You have games. Let those who want to participate, and those who don't, they not. Please. Because at some point you have to prioritize your marriage and your spouse's peace over a fucking check or a show. And that's whether you regular or on TV, all of that. You just do. And she don't do that.
The men only participate in the games when they're on vacation. That's it.
True. That's actually true.
Yeah.
That is
them over there having a good time. Y'all over here bickering like chickens. That's what, like, I don't understand what is Toya's little hang up with her husband, but I know he's not perfect. And, you know, I'm not one to identify with no man, but we've seen worse, fat, and you really need to treat the guy better. He's so respectful, because I would have been cussed. The men I know, Toya crying in the corner.
Right.
Let's start there. We can start with the men we related to.
I'm just saying, because I don't know not one. Or he gonna leave, one of the two. Either he gonna cut you out or he gonna leave. It's
wait
gonna be
on
one
the kids to graduate from high school.
I'm telling y'all, that's what he's waiting on. Because something, I think it was Miss Kira Speaks. I need to subscribe to your channel. But she made the comment about Eugene being outside and whatnot. Where's this doggone carpet?
Oh, let me see.
The damn carpet. My eyes. Y'all know I'm blind.
Let me see. It's not out one. You see it?
She left. I think what they're telling us, Eugene goes off too. You know what? Fuck it. I lost my whole thought. But I will say this: when it comes to parties and stuff, I think that y'all are correct. Most men are not going to deal with that. If I talk to my husband like that at an event, he would end the event. I could be cussing him out and doing it and still going crazy. He'll be walking to everybody and saying, "You ain't got to go home, but you're gonna get the fuck out of here." She tripping.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Something.
Exactly.
Lord.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying there's something that's not clicking here. And it was cute of them to tell these little fibbles and lies and stories and shit, but it does not make sense. You got to be able to put it together. Everything they have said has contradicted what we see. And I get we only watch a small portion of the show. I totally get it. But the thing about edit is, y'all, it's still rooted in some truth. And what I am seeing is, okay, it's either one or the other, Toya. You either were drunk and got in his face, or you weren't drunk and this is how y'all naturally argue. It's one of the two. Either way, it's a double-edged sword. So you might as well just have standing and true. I was drunk. I wanted his ass to get up and help. That's all you had to say.
I mean, still, why would you want him to help? Again, you have no consideration for what he has done. Have you hire people to help you? Hire people to take the load off of him, all because you didn't want to leave, which goes back into she's self-absorbed, she's selfish as fuck. Like, what are we doing? What are we doing? And Eugene, I'm sorry, Eugene ain't going nowhere. He probably used to that type of behavior, and from maybe parental figures, and he's gonna, because Toya is familiar. Like, he's gonna stay. He's not gonna. I'll be surprised, but he's not gonna leave.
He will if he get therapy. He will.
No, he will when the kids is grown and he ain't got paid no child support or no alimony or nothing.
By the time he's done therapy long enough, by then the kids should be gone and all of that. And Toya kind of, I don't know. Toya, I just want them to be done. I think she needs to leave the show, because sometimes I feel like the marriage is keeping them together, or the show is keeping them.
She can't leave the show. She can't.
I know she can't, and she won't, because their finances are questionable. But I feel like if they were to leave the show, we would get a breakup.
They live on the higher spectrum of their income. They ain't leaving no show no time soon, because Toya got to buy another house next season. So I'm telling you,
if they're in another house next season, I swear to God, I'm gonna fall out. Like,
I'm flying to Atlanta and looking for her neighborhood like the YNs and them ski masks, and I'm gonna scare the shit out of her if she buy another house. She better not do that, because she just said at BravoCon that the next house she purchases will be after her boys are done with high school.
But why?
Hopefully the downsize.
Right. And save money.
If they downsize, they have to see each other more. The bigger the house, the less you are.
I feel like this house is smaller than the last house and the house before that.
Or after, like, when the kids is gone, she said that she wanted to buy another house. So what I'm saying is, if she does buy another house, Kiwan mentioned her downsizing, but I don't think she would downsize, because then her and Eugene would have to see each other more.
Well, Eugene and Simone will be working the rest of their lives.
Eugene's gonna be in that emergency room. He gonna find one that's a whole state away this time versus just being 5 and 2 hours.
We gonna move to another continent. Gonna start going doing missions in Africa. See you later. So,
Jesus. So
Kim and King. I'm sorry, y'all.
Yo, you good.
Oh, God.
Can we just jump into this seating chart?
Yes.
The only thing I have to say about the seating chart is Simone ain't sitting next to Andy. She ain't gonna be like, Andy! Her and her teeth. My teeth. And be like, I said you, yeah. And Jackie with her boring. I'm just glad Jackie and Simone don't have first seat. Not that shouldn't. I'm thinking I'm to the point. They're to the point where that type of stuff doesn't matter anymore. But I'm just glad that those two, like, isn't first chair. I feel like Jackie earned a folding chair. The reason why I'm serious, y'all. The reason why Heavenly is in the middle, and I know I've seen comments about that, was because she's a friend of. So I don't expect, even though she's been an integral part, I feel like her, her being a friend of and having a first seat, and but she was brought up more. She was brought up
So
more. I just think Jackie needs to either Zoom or folding chair. Like,
so
Jackie can go.
heavily exposed that production have filmed, I think she said more than 6 weeks before
Yes.
she came on the show.
Yes.
So the fact that we saw Heavenly in episode 2, I'm sorry. I don't care that she's a friend of the show. She needs to be in quad C.
Yeah.
That's how I feel. She needs to be in quad C. Because to me, it don't make no sense. Why is Mimi sitting at the end and Mimi is the main cast member of the show?
Is
So it
that
don't.
Mimi? I thought
That
that
is
was Contessa.
no. Contessa is sitting over there in the third seat next to Simone. That is Mimi sitting next to Heavenly. So I feel like if we gonna do this, we might as well have put her in quad C because Heavenly was the only person given with Toya. So their banter has been back and forth with each other. I feel like why have Heavenly sit there if y'all go put her in front of Mimi? Just go ahead and put her where quad is.
Well, let me ask y'all this: do y'all think that this is Jackie's last season?
No.
No.
Because
I think they're gonna give her one more.
Yeah, she gonna go one more because of this whole shit with Simone. Now they have banter.
If Simone and her didn't get into it, even though they made up, when they make up, they fall out again before they really like make up.
Yes.
I feel like production is going to try and lean into that, especially with not knowing what's going to happen with Heavenly. We're still a couple months away from people having to vote. So
right.
I don't think they're going to make any changes to the cast until they know whether Heavenly is actually going to make it into Congress. Because if Heavenly leaves the show, then they're gonna need to do a cast shakeup. Some people. I think then they may consider getting rid of Jackie, but until then, I think we stuck with Jackie. Unfortunately,
I agree. I think that casting is going to wait, or production is going to wait until they figure out what's going to happen with Heavenly. Because if Heavenly wins, Heavenly's leaving. Like, there's no way Heavenly's going to be a congresswoman and then being on the cast of Married to Medicine. It's not going to happen. So I feel like they're waiting to see if Heavenly wins. If Heavenly wins, they're going to give her spot back. To be honest, I don't think they took away her spot. They went on the technicalities of the contract. That's probably why they did this, because Heavenly was a huge part of this season, being a friend of. She needs that same check. So that's how I feel.
If a friend of has to give and carry a season, to me, that automatically should mean if I was a producer, I need to change the cast. Because no friend of should be carrying a goddarn storyline. There's no way. There's no way. But we know even with her demoting herself because of, politics, it just shows everybody's crying and mad about Heavenly, but the hoes that y'all like, they cannot give you a show.
Exactly.
No, they can't.
They can't. And they tried it for months before they brought Heavenly on, but they cannot give a show, unfortunately. Quad's disingenuous. Toya lacks accountability and would be good on a show if they had people who would hold her accountable. Simone is a hyena that just keeps screaming through the night. I cannot. Nobody wants to hear it. And then Brandy's not memorable. Angel's okay, but she could stay or she could go. I don't feel no way about her. And we like Contessa, you making us Geminis look bad, baby. You gotta stop.
I'm trying to tell you, and Contessa got by me this season because I wasn't even mad at her not one time this season.
Because she knew she fucked up last season.
Contessa
was a hater.
Talk about my mama. Square up.
No, Contessa is one of them weird ass. I'm telling you, June Geminis be weird as hell. I promise you, it's always there. It's always there. I'm trying to tell you. June Geminis be weird because I'm telling you, you would act like ain't shit happened between her and Heavenly the way they kikiing and high-fiving each other and shit in these scenes. You would act like ain't shit happened between them two and they were still the best of friends they were when they first, season 6 and season 7. Like, Contessa go somewhere. I forgot.
Special.
Yeah. Yeah. Is that building open? I always wonder. I might go look at Contessa to see her building open yet. She liquidated all that 401k for that building that she built. Is it open yet?
Contessa is a Gemini, though. She is a June.
She's a Gemini. Yep, she sure
if
is.
you find a Gemini, and this is coming, I am a Gemini, but I'm a May Gemini. I don't even like June Geminis. Okay, I avoid them like the fucking plague. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's that Cancer moon interacting, but can't do it.
Miss Curious speaks. I don't mean to offend you if you're a June Gemini. You may have, the traits of the May one, but I'm telling you, some of them June Geminis will make you question a whole bunch of society life.
The men do be worse though.
They do. Yes.
Donald Trump, we could keep going and going. Like the men, June Geminis are terrible.
No, the problem with Contessa is that I don't think she lives in her truth. I just don't. That's my biggest gripe with her. I feel that there's, ever since we met her friend on the Married to Medicine LA, I looked at her differently. It was something about that relationship. I started to look at her differently, and I feel like, okay, this may explain them outbursts and them angry things that she's been doing in the seasons. It was that situation. So I was like, and then the fact that her friend is living the exact same way away from her husband. It's something about Contessa. I don't feel like she lives in her truth. I just don't.
She been not living in her truth. Look how she dressed. Enough said. Oh, child, I cannot. I appreciate y'all though. Does anybody have any final words or?
I'm waiting for the reunion looks to drop so that way I can. I'm waiting for the reunion looks to drop. I want to see what they gonna bring. I want to see who gonna be best dressed. I want to see because I know Simone gonna make it to my worst dress list. She always does. So
I was just about to ask who y'all think is gonna be worse in best dress.
Best dress. I'm probably going to give it to either Angel or Quad.
Okay.
Because so far this season they've been okay with me. Worst dress, I'm probably either gonna give it to Contessa or Simone.
Yeah,
it's gonna be one of those two. Even though Contessa was my best dress before I looked at the reunion, she was my best dress last season. But then when I looked at the reunion and saw how greasy that damn sew-in was, and the fact that her dress was too fucking tight, I said, okay, never mind. She took a good picture, but did a horrible video. That weave was greasy. That's a Contessa. And she's such a beautiful woman. It hurts me because she's so beautiful. And I'm just like, why can't you get this hair and these outfits together?
Contessa, especially having to liquidate your 401k. I feel like Contessa and Scott probably got they hood braider. They come to your house or you go to their house. Kids running up all around the spot. They gonna serve you a hot link with some mayonnaise and mustard on a white piece of bread. I feel like that is who Contessa's hair, where it probably looked good, but not television presentable, if you get what I'm trying to say. Because this lady cannot dress to save her life, but then her makeup be toe up, her hair is always off. She liked to wear stuff that is for big tittied women when she's a regular titty woman, and nothing's wrong with it. I just feel like she needs a stylist, but is trying to save money.
My God, on to the D. Well, if I had to choose, I think best dress probably will be Angel. Run up would be between Angel and Quad, and Heavenly has been doing great in her best dress. But if I had to pick worst dress, for sure Contessa is going on that list along with Simone, because child. And I'm gonna say Brandy.
You know what? I like that you brought up Brandy because I've been looking at her clothes.
Okay.
The whole season. And we see a lot of Brandy at work, but when she's not at work, she seems to like, I don't think she can't dress, but she seemed like the type of girl that always comes underdressed, if that makes sense.
Okay. Yeah, she do give regular shopping at, Ross, and which ain't nothing wrong with that because I do it too. But when we think of Toya, who, the label low on the show, I just feel like we see a complete difference. That's supposed to be your friend.
It's always
Toya usually
worried
for
about
labels.
Toya
cute for reunions.
Toya give me, wait a minute, I think I might move Toya to my best dress because I remember that one reunion where she had it down packed, and everybody else was looking crazy as fuck. It was that reunion where they wore black.
That's
And
what I
she
was
was the only one
okay.
that came. Yeah, she came in like this very simple lip. And it was like, okay, because everybody looked like morticians, and it was crazy.
I do think the people who should not be judged, no shade. I feel like Heavenly shouldn't be judged because we know she real friendly with Quad, and ever since her and Quad got close, Heavenly has gotten her hair together, her makeup together.
Mhm.
So I feel like Quad is helping Heavenly. But worst dress is gonna be, I think it'll be between three people: Contessa, Simone, and Jackie. If Jackie comes to this fucking reunion in a pantsuit, I'm gonna get on YouTube and ways that are gonna piss the most people off. She better not show up in another pantsuit or that same bob that Jackie do at the reunions, or her hair just in a ponytail. I swear to God, this lady better do more. And she do the same makeup year after year. I can't. I just cannot.
So are y'all gonna talk about the looks?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely talking about. I always do. So yeah, I will send a link if you guys want to come on there and we can talk about it together. We all are always welcome on my channel. But yeah, I am for sure. I'm waiting for that's why I haven't talked about the seating chart, because I want to kind of parlay it into the looks as well. Yeah. So
I do have a question. When the looks come out, do we usually get the trailer before the looks?
No.
Or
it depends really on like what the cast is allowed to do or what they do. Because like Potomac, we got Monique's look because she posted herself, and then nobody else posted and waited. So it really depends on what.
Yeah, because we got the looks before the trailer. So yeah, I just feel like it usually depends on, I guess, the show, because I know Potomac will get the looks before the trailer. I think Atlanta is the only one that will get the trailer first before we get the looks. I think.
Okay.
When
is the reunion? I mean,
we
know that it passed like this Friday, but
they just filmed it just Friday. Yeah.
What season? I mean, what episode are we on?
I believe we're on episode 11 for Married to Medicine, because I know we haven't had the couples trip yet. And I know we haven't had there's something else that happened in the season that we have not gotten to yet. So we're on episode 9, according to my last recap. So we still got about maybe 5 more episodes before we get to reunion. Yeah.
Good God.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Okay. I'm hoping that we like the looks, we wait. Like, I don't be wanting everything too soon. I just feel like this is early. For us to be on episode 9 to have their season short reunion, is all seems so early for me. Like, all of this stuff don't usually come out till later.
I feel like Bravo has been like rushing the production and conclusion of most of the shows that have aired like through the winter and all of that. I feel like they're trying to like hype up, because we're gonna get Rhode Island is coming soon. They just dropped the trailer for that. And the 20-year anniversary for Ultimate Girls Trip that just concluded filming. Housewives of New Jersey has been test filming. So I feel like
in Atlanta, right?
Yeah, and then
Atlanta premiering
as well in April, I believe, right?
We don't have a date. Oh, did they post a date finally? Because I feel like they've been done filming for months.
Oh,
yeah, they
I have no clue. We need to Google that.
Yeah, I need to Google, because I need to be ready, because I'm already side-eyeing this season already.
I feel like
I'm already side-eyeing it. So I'm like,
why?
Because here's the thing. Because of last season, y'all understand, I went up for Shamia. If y'all don't know, episode 1, I know.
Yes, not to do that.
Because I loved her. Like I used to have a crush on Shamia. I did when I was in my earlier 20s. I used to have the biggest crush on her, and I was so happy because I was kind of like, oh, she finally get her time to shine and everything. And as soon as the season premiered and episode 2 came, I said, damn, she done lost me that fucking quick. I said, Shamia, why? So I'm not looking forward, because I don't want to eat the crow that I've landed for myself. I don't like Portia. I don't like Kelly. I don't like Drew. I don't like any of them. Angela, I'm okay with. And I don't like Phaedra. So it's just, yeah. I would say I don't like Phaedra. I understand here's the thing. It's like Dr. Heavenly. I don't like or dislike Dr. Heavenly. I understand why they're there. I felt like for me, Phaedra should have never left Married to Medicine. That's my personal opinion. I felt like she was better there. I do. I do. Because Phaedra actually had to work her last season on Married to Medicine. She actually had to give. They held her ass to the fire, and like they should have. Phaedra always gets by and go, "Ooh, child, girl," and that's all we ever see of her, and I get tired of it. So when they made her sweat and had to, catch up with them lies that she was spilling out, it was like, yes, finally, someone had to do it, and I'm glad that they were able to do it. That's why her ass left. She couldn't handle it.
I agree.
All right.
Well, everybody, that is all we have today. I really want to thank y'all for coming along and getting and doing this video. This is my first live like this. I'm proud. Thank y'all so much. Y'all have made this easy.
You did a great job. I'm so proud of you. You did a wonderful job. Yes, I'm so happy. I can't wait to my next time coming to your channel. I cannot wait.
Period. Y'all coming. I just gotta figure out when. I know it's gonna be one of these shows we're gonna be talking about, or just something else. But I promise.
Love and Marriage Huntsville's returning. There'll be lots.
Yeah, there's lots coming up. Yeah, the next few months here, we have lots of things we could talk about. So yes, yes, I enjoyed myself. Thank you so much. Yes, I appreciate you guys.
Thank you. Thank you. But that is all we have. Does anybody have any final words? Y'all want anything to say? F them hoes, something.
Subscribe to Q1J TV. Support somebody black free.
Yes, please. I will on my channel. I will talk about them in today's video. I will talk about them. Yes.
Okay.
Seen it coming. I said seen it coming, but okay.
Stevie Wonder
song. I don't even know them, but I'm going to talk about them because I know they were on Ready to Love, and I know they went on Love Marriage DC following that. So I am going to talk once I do more my research on them, because I think that is unfair that I'm speaking about them and I don't know them, but we'll see how I feel about them.
All right, you cousin, you got something?
I had a good time, y'all. Thank y'all for having me. That's it. About to go take me a nap before I go to work tonight.
Amen.
I was gonna call you, but you go ahead and take a nap.
Yes, God. I already made dinner and everything before noon, so I'm about to go lay down.
Call me when you get up.
I will.
Mrs. Bess, you got anything?
No, I appreciate you. I hope everyone likes the video. I'm also going to take a nap.
So I'm about to go lay down. Well, with that being said, enjoy y'all Super Bowl Sunday. Enjoy the rest of y'all weekend, and we will see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye.
Y'all. Thank you, cousin.
You're welcome.